Bam. Just like that. All right, let me double check. I'm muted. Now, oh, sweet. It says I'm muted. I am muted. Sweet. I like the smaller version of my face so much better than the big version. I hate seeing my big stupid face. And I'll wait for the phone to go off. When was the last time? Didn't it take like 3 minutes? Something like that? We'll see. It's bound to go off some point. What's up, Chelsea? How are you doing? What's up, Cemetery? Look, there it goes. Now my email went off. YouTube says, hey, you are live on your channel. Thanks, YouTube. Jeez, man. Yeah, and I think I kind of got to why they do that, because you're using StreamYards. That must be the reason why, to let you know that you're live through another, how would that be called? Through another program, like a second party, whatever. Oh, God. What's up, Pedro? How you doing? Oh, nice. Is this what they call skins? Where they just are, I mean, I guess that would be it. That's pretty cool. What's up, JDS? No more pain. I didn't have any pain. Well, a little bit. I guess when I was stretching them, there was a little bit of pain. It's kind of a pain in the butt more, because I would just start, and like I said before, with use a size or 2 O-ring for the back, and then just like you could go slow all night long. But yeah, I guess I don't know. I felt like pinched, like you're pinching your ear, but that's about it. What up, JDS? What's up, Dojo? How are you doing? From the tapers. And mine did something weird to this ear, which is my tiny ear. That's why the skin hangs over the actual earlobe, whereas this one, it doesn't. Like the skin hangs out. But now this one, I think it was something weird about the way I was doing it, because I swear the bottom kind of folded over on itself. It just looks kind of weird. But can you go for the dinner plate and a lip too? Nah. Not only that, I don't think I'm going any bigger than this. Like, everybody told me stop. And when everybody tells you to stop, it's just like, well, I don't know, maybe I should listen. Hey, what's up, Levi? You put the lobes too close to your lobe, or rings too close to your lobe. I think mine were both dead center. But this ear lobe, I mean, it's hard to tell now because they're all stretched out. But this one was like twice as big as this one, because this was the very first ear I always pierced. And I'd always be yanking down on it and then piercing it when I was I started piercing it when I was 5. And I just kept piercing it over and over and over again until I think I was 12 or 13. And because my parents didn't want me to have my ear pierced. And then when I was 12 or 13, the store my dad had an actual ear piercing gun, and he pierced my ear for me. It's pretty funny. After he said I could never have one, he totally went against what my mom said too, because she was like, no way, no way. And then one day I came home look. Oh man. Pedro, I don't think so. I looked. No, it's not buffering for me. It's good to see you too, Levi. Yeah. Nobody told me to stop when I started, but people did tell me to stop. And then like my mom only saw him, I don't know, 3 times, something like that. But the third time she saw him, she was like, you know, you can take those out and blah, 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 blah. And I don't have an interest to take them out. Because, like I said before, like 2 gauge is like the lowest you can go, and then you can take it out, and your lobes will go right back to normal. I'm at 16 millimeter, which would be what 2, 0, double 0, 12, 14, 16. So I'm like, what, 6 sizes away from the you can't go back part. But I don't know. The advice I got was, because I was like, because I didn't know until I was like 00 that 2 gauge is like the lowest you can go, and then they'll go back. And when I found that out, I'm like, no way. I was like telling people, and they were like, do you care? And I'm like, it's a good point. No, I really don't care. If I take them out and they finally go back, then that's cool, I guess. I don't know. I never even liked the damn things in the first place. I just kept going bigger and bigger. And then I'm like, oh, I guess I'm doing this. Like, I never actually set out to do that. I just started off with like 10 gauge earrings, and I used to have tongue rings, and I'd put them in so that it would just be like a ball on this side, and they would hang down from the back. And I liked the way it looked, and I just went 10, 8, 6. And then I think when I got to 4, or maybe it was when I got to 6, that's when I was like, all right, I might as well get the damn taper kit. Make this a little easier. Because I was just taking the new earring and just shoving it right in. What's up, Schuller? Oh, sweet. Pager restarted. Damn. Levi did 6 gauge. It took about 8 years ago and still haven't gone back. Damn. Well, I had my nose pierced. What else did I have? I mean, I had a whole pile of things. No, I'm almost guaranteed a lip didn't stay open, especially the inside. It's too spongy. Yeah, I was just reading Chelsea's comment. My mom told me it made her sick when she talks to me. Yeah, I never liked the look. On me, I kind of do. Like when I look in a mirror, I'm not like, yeah, I'm gonna have big holes. I don't know. I think it's cool. I think it's also cool that I can stick my finger all the way through or not like my whole finger, but I can stick my finger through my ear. I just find that funny. Hey, what's up, Pilo? Staying at 00. I kept going up and up. My kit goes to, I'm at 16 millimeter, and it goes to 24 millimeter, which are pretty dang big. But the thing that held me back was somebody actually like caught the thing, and it like ripped, and it ripped like the very bottom. I can't do it here, like right at the very bottom, and it just had 2 little dangly things hanging, and that kind of freaked me out. Ever since then, I'm like, oh, maybe I'll just stay where I'm at. Nice. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I kind of like just being able to see a hole through my ear. Not only that, but I like the weight on my ears too. That's how it started off. Because I got bigger and bigger tongue rings, and I would get the longest tongue ring that you could get, so it would like hang down in the back like real far, and it would like kind of put some weight on there. Well, after I started getting so big that I couldn't use tongue rings anymore, I just got like a 2. I think the lowest I have is a 2 gauge horseshoe, and that sucker's so heavy that you put it in, it kind of like put some sag on your ear. All right. Well, thanks, Pilo. Thanks for swinging by. What? You had the webbing under your tongue cut out? Dang. Yeah, I think I'm going to be all right with that. I had my tongue pierced twice at the same time. One, I don't know. Yeah, wherever my tongue ring is now, I had one behind it. But no, that's good enough for me. my last job, I wasn't even allowed to have a tongue ring. Nobody saw it. But I also tried not to talk to a lot of people too. Yeah, that's a weird feeling, isn't it, Chelsea? When you can like put your finger through your freaking ear, like look. Had people do that. Makes me nervous though. Like something will happen and it'll jump and like yank back to my original fear. Oh damn. Oh, and I was just reading your comment, Chelsea. I meant like rip all the way through, so it'd just be like no more hoop. It would just be like two pieces of skin hanging down. That'd be weird. I saw one guy that did that, and on the little piece that was hanging down, one of them, he had a goofy little tattoo on there. I'm sure you could find it if you Google it. But I'd rather not get a tattoo on my ear. Dang, some intense dreams going on over there. Looks like she's going into a convulsion. Her head's just like going nuts. Hey, what's up, Rocky Mountain? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't know if I'd trust a 2-year-old around these holes in my ear. I'd just be like, no, you just look. Nah, maybe 2 would be okay. Trying to remember when my niece and nephew, well, maybe not my nephew when he was 2, but my niece at 2, yeah, probably her. Not the second niece, though. No way. I don't know if I'd trust my second niece around them now. And what is she, 4? I think she's 4. I can't remember. Man, I'm a horrible uncle. On the third one, I remember the birth dates of the first 2. It was the third one that was the surprise. My sister just stopped by, and I was like, whoa, what the hell? Are you pregnant? Like, I hadn't seen her in a little bit. She was like, yeah, I'm due in like, a month or 2. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, I never knew, but I guess she put it on Facebook. That's why. Oh, yeah, that orbital one. I had a bunch of friends that had that. I always meant to get it. That, and I always wanted, like, from this one up here to, like, the side, just put, like, a barbell right through there. I always wanted to do that. Just, I didn't get around to it. And this one, I think it's 8. It's either 8 or 6 gauge. I can't remember. I went up pretty good with them, too. But you had 13 at one time. I think I had 27 at one time. I can't remember. I'd have to count them again. It was 13 in this ear. It was 7 in this ear. 2 in my tongue, my nose, my lip, which I had done twice. Not at the same time, but just 2 different times. I had my eyebrow, but it ripped out. I had my nipple done. I got my belly button. I still have my belly button. I've had that for 25 years, 26 years, something like that. I don't even remember how long I've had that. And actually, and like a lot of people will be like, oh, I'd take that out. Like, that's not very manly. Nah, keep that sucker in. I love surprising people with that one. That one cracks me up. People's reactions to it, like, what the hell? Why are you a guy and you have your belly button pierced? And my only answer is because I got it before everybody thought belly button piercings were cool. And it was the easiest to hide. And I didn't want to do my nipple at the time, even though I did it later. Did I have anything else? Maybe something else. Oh, I did have my septum done, like right there in the middle of your nose. I had that sucker done for one night. I pierced it myself. I put the ring in. And the more I looked at it, I was like, well, you can always just like have a smaller barbell with no ball, and you can like flip it upside down so it's up in your nose if you don't want people to see it. But all I kept thinking about was my dad calling me like a bull or something like that. So I took it out. I was like, screw it. I didn't like the way it looked on me anyway. And I think I already had this side of my nose already done, which still, you can see the little dimple right there. I don't think you can see. Somewhere there's a ring. Yeah, well, if you took out yours at 00, then you might be okay. Because that's what you're just saying. They say 2 gauge is like the lowest or biggest you could go without and be able to come back. So that's only 2 gauges away. I'm like 4 above where you were. Oh, jeez, oh man, his ear split in his sleep. That's insane. I do not want that to happen. JDS, you never had any piercing? Oh, I don't want to put this out here anyway. I always forget to do that. Never had any piercings? Because I've been giving myself piercings since I was like 5. Like watching all the 80s hair bands and they had their ear pierced. And I was like, you know what? I can do that too. And yeah, I'd get in so much trouble. Yeah, that's a good point, though. The older they do get, the more they are going to be rough. So, so on the conch, or like what it is? Don't they pronounce that conch or a conch? Because I think that's the same way you spell conch, which is a shell, which is like the shell that everybody wants to get, like the seashell. I got one on my I forget what the heck they call that, tragus or whatever. And that, I don't know, I upgraded that sucker. That's why that earring doesn't exactly fit in my ear like that. But yeah, I forget. I think it was like an 18 gauge that they pierced it with, and I think this is a 14 gauge. I think I went up a couple times. I can't remember. I remember I kept taking it out for work. So I'd like take it out, and then I would take out my tongue rings that were down here every day for work. And then one day, well, it was wintertime, and I was like, you know what? I'm wearing a tassel cap. I'll just pull my tassel cap down, and then I don't have to take my earrings out. And that, I think that's when I started actually hitting the gauges. Yeah, I wouldn't want surgery either. Well, I don't want surgery, period, unless I have to have it, like no matter what it is. But as far as like cosmetic surgery, like your ears and stuff, yeah, I don't want to do that either. I guess you could always try. I don't know. If you got those ones where, how the hell do I describe them? I don't have them sitting here. Where they're like a ring with like an outer ring, and then the back screws on, and they're like, kind of like these, but they're metal. Maybe you could go like one size smaller and screw that on, and eventually it would like close up around the one size smaller, and then you could pull that out and then do another size smaller. Because I splurged on that stuff. I got both kits. I got the kit from like 18 gauge to 00 gauge, and I got the kit from 00 gauge to 24 millimeter. And that's a lot right there. And I got like every earring from when I started, every single size all the way down. And at most of them, I was like, I'll get plugs too. I've never put a plug in. What's up, Black Mamba? What are you up to? Hope his fan's not annoying. It's annoying the heck out of me, but I kind of need it on. It's a little warm. Earlier today, I was doing work in the back bedroom, trying to clean up and stuff, getting all the ceiling and insulation and stuff off the floor after the ceiling caved in. But I was messing around doing that. I'm like, man, why am I like feeling like I'm sweating? And well, I'm like, what the hell's going on? Like, it's hot. And I thought it was just because it's the back bedroom and like the door's normally shut and it'll get sunlight in the morning and stuff like that. So I thought was going on. And then I was walking past the thermostat and I looked, and I have the heat set to, I think 75, because I was getting a little cold a little bit ago. And then when I walked past, it said it was 80 in here. And I'm like, oh, that's why it's so hot. So that was just the sun today jumped the house up to like 80 degrees. Oh, yeah. And there's no insulation in that back room, too, because there's no ceiling. So it's literally like you walk in and it's just straight up. You can see the trusses, and then you can see the roof, which has a brand new roof on it. So, which they're almost done. I think I figured out how they do their work schedule, which is weird to me, because if you got the time, I don't know, makes me think they're like getting paid by the hour. But I swear the one guy that shows up owns the business, and the contractor is just contracting out to the subcontractor. But it's so weird. So they showed up Thursday, and Thursday they ripped off the whole front of the roof and papered it in. And then they showed up Friday and they shingled the entire thing. But Thursday they showed up at 7 and they were done at like 3, which I guess would be like a 9-to-5 type job. But I was like, I don't know. Every job I've been on doing roofing, we're like, heck with it, man. Like, we got a couple more hours. Like, let's start slapping some shingles down. Maybe they didn't have them. I don't know. But then same thing again. So that was Friday. They got the whole front side done. Today they came and ripped off the whole back side, and they papered it in, and that was it. And I was like, well, what the heck, man? Like, and they showed up at 7 and they were done at noon, which I'm like, well, you got a few more hours. Like, screw it. Like, start getting those shingles on there. Cause like towards the top, the backside has the vents, and it has an exhaust fan for the garage, which doesn't work. I need a new motor, but the whole backside has the vents, for airflow, to come in for air to come out at the roof and in through the soffit, so that the roof can breathe. But I don't know. I just thought it was kind of weird. Although I didn't see any shingles, so maybe they just didn't have the shingles. Maybe they're just like playing it by ear. No, there's got to be like one thing of shingles out there somewhere. Just having a cold one. Same here, Black Mamba. What's going on? Yep. Dog's passed out on the couch beside me. What's up, Lisa? What's crazy? How fast they got it done? Because the entire roofing job has only been 2 guys, which like I said, I think one is the subcontractor who owns the business, and the other guy's just his helper. Because he'll hop on the roof and he never gets back down. Like, he's up there like tearing stuff off or throwing shingles off the roof or papering or putting shingles up. Whereas the other guy, I've seen him, like, he had to go down and like pick up shingles off the ground and like use the magnet to try to pick up all the nails. But yeah, I spent like a lot of time today. We have this different kind of insulation. Like, most people, they think of like the paper back and like the fiberglass insulation, and you just like stick it in in between the joists and stuff like that. We didn't have that. We had and it's not the kind I'm used to, because there's like a spray in insulation that I'm used to around here, and this is not it. This is like cotton candy, but it was a spray and insulation. So this was a model house. That's why everything's like really cheaply made. All the electrical boxes are not like standard. They're like tiny boxes. Just all kind of crazy stuff like that. Like, all the cheap ways they could go about things, they did it. And but they use this spray and insulation crap, and that's why it looks like it snowed in like fake snow. That's what it looks like. And so the whole back bedroom, there's just like fake snow over every single thing in the entire room. Like, it's crazy. But the good news is I started trying to get everything out of there, and I was like, I just started getting like all overwhelmed, and I was like, okay, you know what? Let's divide and conquer here. So I took like, I guess pieces of wood fell in or got thrown in from when they were fixing the roof. I don't know. Either way, I took all the wood and construction type materials and put them on one side of the room, and all the big chunks of sheetrock I would put on the other side over there with it. And I focused only on the insulation today. And I got almost all the insulation. The only insulation I didn't get was the stuff under the pieces of sheetrock, because there was already a couple big pieces over there. And I'm like, that's where I'll stack the sheetrock. So I just started putting all the sheetrock over there. So there's insulation underneath that, but a ton of guys working on yours. Yeah, well, ideally, that's what you want. You want to have like a nice, good, at least 1 or 2 day window where you can get in there with a bunch of guys and you just, because I've been on roofing jobs. I loved roofing too back in the day. It was so much fun. I don't know if I could do it anymore, but I did it to overcome I had 2 fears. I had a fear of heights, and I had a fear of, not a fear exactly, but I don't like to carry heavy stuff. And if you know roofing, well, carrying bundles of shingles, that's heavy. And then the tar paper, that's pretty damn heavy. And then picking up shingles, that's not heavy. And usually, like a couple of the jobs I had, we had wheelbarrows and stuff, and stuff like that. But yeah, my roof especially. If you had 10 guys, you could knock out my roof. If you started at 7, you might be able to have it done by 3:30. Like 5 or 6 o'clock, I'm willing to bet you could have, like, me running the crew, knowing as little as I know about roofing. I could get it done. But my problem would be like, wait, what are the measurements again? Like, how far where do I run my chalk line? Like, how far above the starters? Like, all that crap. That's the only thing that I would have a problem with. But besides that, and people loved me when I was helping them with their roofing job, because I'd be the guy that would hang out like right on the roof above whoever was putting the actual shingles down, and I'd be having a bundle of shingles already open, and I'd be feeding them shingles like right when they're getting done. And then I would just keep feeding them shingles. And then they would just be like, bang, 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 put it in, bang, bang, bang. And it just keep moving along. What's up, Susie? Feel like hopping in? 10 over old shingles. Yeah, I had to do that. The 2 sets of shingles. We did one. It was 2 sets of asphalt shingles over 2 sets of cedar shakes. And we got the biggest trash bin that you could get, the giant one that needs like a tractor trailer to drop it off. And we filled the entire thing so much that we had to get an excavator to come in and smash down all those cedar shakes and everything. And just so it would be level with the top. Well, if you do feel like joining Susie, there's the link. But 10 over old shingles. That's what everybody kept saying, was like, do like some sort of metal roof. And I don't know. My argument against that is, if you have a newer roof, like this roof is 25 years old. So literally the shingles they were glued to each other. But with a new roof where you could actually lift the shingles and stuff, if we have another tree fall into the house, it'll be a pretty easy fix, because then you just get rid of the tree, fix the damage, make the roof look exactly like it was, and then just go back and replace the shingles, which is not that hard. So what's up, Laura? Links there if you feel like joining. But yeah, I used to have to do that. Did they finally fix my roof? No. Well, yes. Well, we had to get the entire roof replaced. So Thursday they came and ripped the whole front off and then papered it in. Friday they came and put up all new shingles on the front side, which was that the back corner on the front side. That's where the damage was. Today they came and ripped off the entire rear of the house and papered it in. So I'm guessing tomorrow they'll show up and put in the rest of the shingles and they'll be done. Because all they really have to do is shingle the whole back, cut out for the vents, put in the vents, and then shingle around the vents, make it to the pinnacle, and then do the roof cap. And then it should be done. I would say they should be done tomorrow. That's why I was thinking, like, that's why they should have kept on going today. Like, they only worked 5 hours today. He started at 7 and they were gone before noon. Let's see. Are they gonna fix my floor too? I cleaned up a lot of that crap today. It's funny. The hallway, like, it leaked into the bedroom, but the hallway has more water saturation than the bedroom does, which is weird. But I think it's because the water is saturated up into the insulation. So I think it, like, the insulation sucked the water out of the carpet in the bedroom because it fell down and everything. So, but are they going to fix my floor? Pretty sure, yeah. I'm pretty sure we already, well, yeah, I mean, I was already told, go ahead and cut out the carpet. So, yeah, apparently well, I don't know what the floor underneath is going to, like, the subfloor is going to look like, but, and I don't know about the hallway. I mean, there's marks all the way down the hallway. It looks pretty crappy. Like, to the point where it's saturated. It was just right in front of the washer and dryer, and now it, like, moved part way down the hall, where when I was walking out of my bedroom, it was, like, squishing, and you could see water coming out around my feet. It was so gross. So I took a big trash bag and put it down so I could walk on the trash bag instead of the wet carpet. But no outsiders in the house. I'm sure there's bugs and stuff like that, lizards, all kind of. I said lizards, and she started, like, moving her legs in her puppy dreams. That's what she did all day today. I didn't want to let her out until the guys were done working. And after they were done working enough, I let her out. But she was outside all day today because it was so warm and there were little lizards running all over the place. So she was out there just chasing them around. And it was kind of annoying because she kept, like, clawing at the back door, which I think we're replacing that too. We have concrete. What do you mean you have concrete shingles? All right, Susie, if you're out. We're 30. What is that? 4:30 is still 8 hours. That's not bad. Oh, you got, I got you. You got concrete under the carpet. Oh, nah. We are on pilings because it's all sand around here. So yeah, gotta have pilings into the sand, and then if you're not gonna be in bed for another hour, Susie, hop on. You could hang out for a half hour. But yeah, no, we're up on piling, so it's pretty much just, 12 by 12s the whole way around, and then, a frame, and then it's plywood subfloor. So, but it's got to be up off the ground, and especially because we're like in a floodplain. So if we do actually get flooded, we actually have vents in the fountain. We have, or no, wait. Well, the center is pilings. The outer is concrete block. But they got to have vents cut in them in case it floods, so the water can come in and go back out. Which it almost happened once. And Susie says she looks like shit. I doubt that very much. And if you want to, I'll set a timer. And it'll only be a half hour. I'll just kick you out. Pilsner. Man, I haven't had a beer in like, what has it been now? I don't even know how long it's been. Like 3.5, 4.5 weeks. Something like that. Yeah, like and yeah, I guess most places around here don't really have like a stone foundation. Most places around here are all just like literally straight up pilings. Like all the oceanfront houses, they'll have telephone poles as pilings. And I forget how deep they have to be. There's a general rule, like if you're on the ocean, like it's got to be, I forget. It's like 17 feet in the ground or 25 feet in the ground or something like that. But yeah, so I guess we're like kind of the anomaly. I was going to say abnormality. I guess anomaly, where we actually have like a foundation, which is weird. They normally only do that like when you're up like on a hill around here. Like my cousin's house, he was 25 feet above the ocean on a hill, like right above. I mean, you could, when I was on the roof, I could see the ocean because his roof was 35 feet. Or I can't remember what it was. Whatever it was, we had to lower the roof. Like we were getting ready to like construct the roof because we built it all like straight up, like no trusses. Like we had this gigantic freaking boards and everything. And we were getting ready to do it. And we're like, oh crap, we're over. Like I think someone, the architect or surveyor or something came out and was like, you're above, like you gotta like drop that roof. So we had to come down like 2 feet with the roof when we put it on. But no, Mark, yeah, Mama wants Susie to stay. And Mark's, oh man, where's that? Wait, let me try to get it. You're in Saskatchewan, right? Or wait, did I get that right? Yeah. So that means Susie, you'll be getting your snow here right after you get it. Damn, Laura, you passed out on that pink gin? Wait, and you just woke up? Weren't you just live like an hour and a half ago or something like that? Or 2 hours? I jumped in. Well, I clicked on it, I guess I should say. But there was a couple other videos I was trying to watch too. And plus I was eating too. And when I eat, I don't really like to watch. I will watch live streams, but I usually just I have like a certain videos that I save for when I'm eating. Just so like the whole time I'm eating, it's like I'm watching TV while I'm eating kind of thing. And I did that. And as soon as I was done eating, I'm like, okay, well, I guess I can go click on it. And I clicked back on the link and it was like, oh yeah, live stream ended. Mama just had the last, just said it sound like Mamba just had the last shot of tequila. You don't have a backup bottle? Sweet. Got it correct. Mark's in Saskatchewan. Okay, well, go ahead and hit me with whereabout. What's the closest city to you? See if I can remember that next time. Gin and juice. I was never a big gin fan. I was at Saskatoon. I was going to say that earlier, but for some reason I was thinking Regina. That's how you say it, right? Not Canadian. A lot. Passed out and then just woke up. Only until my beer finishes. Yeah, Susie. The link in the chat. That's all you need. Or anyone want. Oh, there you are.
I'm sorry. I'm laughing at you trying to pronounce Regina. Yeah, because I was thinking that you might have said Regina, or with most people. I don't know. Oh God.
That's what I always say. But like I was about to say it again, but I swear I heard you in the back of my mind saying like, it's not Regina, it's Regina.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, it's not. I hate it when people call it Regina. Well, you can remember it because they call it the city that rhymes with fun or whatever. I don't know. That's what they call it, right?
I heard that in my mind right after I said it. I was like, yeah, that's right. It rhymes.
Yeah. So, oh gosh.
How was your weekend?
I didn't do anything. Oh no, I did actually on Saturday because I didn't work this weekend, which is fantastic. I asked my boss, I'm like, can you just? I think I told you this. I'm like, can you just give me the weekend off? And he's like, enjoy it. So I did. I did some raking, kind of. I didn't put any leaves in a bag. I just raked it up into a pile. And then I went to Mongo's
Nice.
on Saturday.
I've been there.
I know. I took you there. And then I went to the store and got some new work pants, which I like desperately needed. I'm sick of doing laundry every single day.
Well, technically, I took you there.
Well, okay, but I took you there. And then, what else did we do? Oh my gosh. I have no idea. I can't even. Yesterday was Sunday. Oh, okay. Like,
you do some gardening?
Well, I did yard work. Well, okay. Josh got pink eye this weekend. His eye was like, or was it this eye was like so bad, and he's had it since like last Thursday. I never even noticed until like this weekend, and then and I'm like literally, you better. If I get pink eye, I'm like, I've stayed in this room the entire time. Like all out there is contaminated, and I woke up yesterday morning and like my eye, this eye was like swollen and like pussy, and I'm like, fuck. So like we got drops or whatever, and I'm putting these drops in my eye like literally every 15 minutes. It's like, it's better now, like you can't really see it, but like all here, like on the inside is just red. And this morning I woke up and it was like all crusty, and I'm like, no, and I'm like washing it out. And he didn't go to work today. I did. I'm like, yeah, I gotta go to work. Like, I don't care. But and then I washed all my makeup off as soon as I came home. I was just like, I can't have this shit on my eye.
I have never had pink eye.
I have never had pink eye either.
That's poo particles getting in your eye.
Well, that's what they say. Like, even now, you just saying that makes my eye itchy, but like I can't touch. And I've been washing my hands like constantly, and I don't know. I just had like a really, really, really long day at work today. It was just well, it wasn't long, but it was like so busy. Like it was, and our phones for the whole dealership went off for like a couple hours. And as soon as the phones went back on, it was like ringing. Like it was so insane. Like I've never, And then as soon as I came back on, I'm like, look, guys, I'm going to lunch. Like, no. I waited about an hour or two to go to lunch, but yeah, no, it was really bad. And then it snowed today, and it was like minus 10 degrees when I woke, 10 degrees Celsius when I woke up. And yeah, so I'm gonna probably hit the hater away. It's 10 to 9. Hey, when do the clocks go back?
Next Saturday.
I thought it was this Saturday.
No, I believe this Saturday. Yeah, like the 3rd or something like that.
That would be the 2nd is Saturday.
That day. I'm pretty sure. I don't know for
sure.
It's
Sunday then, probably. I would assume it would be Sunday.
Yeah, well, it's 2:00 in the morning, Sunday morning.
Black Mamba says it's 55 here. Felt great. Oh my god, yeah.
Oh, it's so warm here that my house heated up to like 80 degrees. I had to open the front door and the back door to get a cross breeze going with the fan on. And like I just felt like crap. So I just like turned my chair and like sprawled out and like was just sitting here for like a couple or probably an hour. Especially while I was cooking, just to get air moving around because it was just so hot. Jesus, man.
Well, I walked. Yeah, wow. I walked like to lunch, this lunch today, and I literally walked across the street and back from my dealership. And I came back, and my eyes. It was so windy, and the wind was so cold. My eyes were like. It looked like I was crying, and like every single person was like, "Oh my god, are you okay? Like, are you okay?" And like one of my advisors, Brendan, is just like, I'm like, yes, I'm good. He's like, no, seriously, Susie, like, let's go talk about it. And I'm like, bruh, I'm fine. I walked like across the street and back, and my makeup was like all down my face, but I didn't want to like touch my eye because like they're kind of swollen still. Oh my god, that's how bad it was. It was just like so windy. It was like howling.
See what my phone tells me my temperature is. It's never right.
55 in the morning, 89 by noon, 78 right now. Levi says it's 77. God, like that's just.
Mine says it's 64 right now.
Oh, it's only -2 right now, so that's not too bad. But the wind is probably like, fuck, it's, just.
Mama's got 78.
No snow. We've got snow. I woke up this morning and walked outside to go to work, and it was like snow on the ground. I'm like, my new boots aren't even like winterized or anything. Like, they don't have that coat like that, like, because they're suede. But I'm just like, my new shoes are gonna get ruined. I'm like, I just don't care. I really want to be at work now. Like, and then I'm not going outside. But of course I smoke, so I'm like outside freezing my ass off all the time.
I was going to say like you already had snow, but I was going to say like that's way too early to have snow. I remember when I lived in Pittsburgh, it was like October 28th, like right around Halloween. Because for the kids, they change it to whatever weekend day is more appropriate for the kids to go out or whatever, instead of like actually on the 31st. And I remember
the last Saturday of October. I think that's like the dumbest thing ever, but whatever.
Well, I remember I was all planned to. I don't remember what I was trying to be, but I had a costume picked out. But I ended up going as a hunter because it snowed and it was so dang cold that I just wanted as many layers on as I could. And like me and my dad went hunting earlier that day, so I was like, heck with it, just give me my dang hunting.
When I went trick-or-treating, like way back in the day, we used to wear our snow suits under our costumes. Like I would be like whatever, like one year I was gosh, now I don't even know what I was ever. Like let's say like some girl goes out as like a princess and she's got like her whole little ball gown. She wears her snowsuit underneath her dress. Like that's how bad it is here. I mean, it is just horrible. And then you've got people, poutine, what's up, JDS? Actually, I was going to make poutine today.
I did. I made it earlier today.
Oh, what kind of poutine, though?
Not the correct kind. It was American poutine.
Not the correct kind. What kind of poutine? Not the right one. Yeah.
It was just straight up poutine. It was just fries, and then it was mozzarella. 'Cause I don't have cheese curds, so it was like shredded mozzarella, went pretty heavy, and then Mexican 3 cheese, and then I put beef gravy on it. Which, by the way, I'm not a big fan of beef gravy.
Well, that's what I said. You usually put chicken gravy on yours, don't you?
Yeah. Well, that was the chicken gravy still in the cupboard, but the beef gravy was in the fridge.
But listen, Brando has sent me like a million pictures of like he just sees all these different kinds of cheese curds at the store. Like I don't understand why you.
Well, he's in Chicago. Like he's outside of Chicago.
Yeah, I understand. He's super close to the border. Yeah.
Well, I also live in the middle of nowhere, so like I live at the beach. Like the closest mall to me is like an hour and a half.
Yeah,
like the closest Best Buy.
Like your little grocery store there, and then I know.
Well, we now have 3 different grocery stores, which is kind of cool. But I never checked the other 2. I should do that. Maura.
What's up, Moira? Moira?
She's in Oklahoma City.
Oh, yeah. Isn't that like Tornado Valley?
Yeah, the alley.
The alley, okay.
Yeah, I've flown into Oklahoma City. I've drove through Oklahoma City.
I think I drove through it because isn't it near Kansas?
Yeah, it's south of Kansas.
Yeah, because I went through Wichita and then like south down that way.
Oh, yeah.
I remember actually I was maybe 5 or 6, and we drove down there. I remember it. I remember this Ramada Inn that we stayed at in Wichita, and it had like a pool that like was like an indoor and an outdoor pool. It had like this like little, and I thought it was like the coolest thing. And I'm like, how am I going to get to the outside? My dad's like, swim under the thing. Like it's not very difficult.
Oh, it had
I don't want to.
It had like the glass wall that came
the
down.
glass wall that goes right down to the water. Yeah, and then
you just
yeah. I know. No, but I'm looking at it because I'm so young at this point, right? I think, oh gosh, I can't remember. I think my dad had like a work thing or, gosh, I don't know. I can't even remember, to be honest. You know what? I had McDonald's for lunch today, and that's kind of thrown off my whole day. I ordered a snack wrap and fries and a junior chicken, and I was at McDonald's because I just needed to get out of the dealership for like, I was only gone for about half an hour, but I came back, and one of my buddies, Chris, like who works in parts, I had like the burger, the junior chicken in there, and I'm like, Mike was like, how are you feeling? And I'm like, I feel like shit right now. And I'm like, do you want this junior chicken? And he's like, no, I had a Little Caesars pizza, and that was $15, and I feel like shit. Not only because I feel like shit, but because it was so expensive for like a little tiny thing. And I'm like, oh my God, that sucks. And Chris in Parts is like, I'll take your junior chicken. And I'm like, okay, fuck, it's yours. I like tossed it at him, and there's extra mayo in the bag, and the mayo went like all over his face. I'm like, it looks like somebody, I don't know. It just, it was hilarious. He's like, yeah, I'm just going to scrape that off upstairs if you don't mind.
I quit going to McDonald's. It's
like literally right across the street. It's either that or Tim Hortons. But there you spend $2 for a wrap. At Tim Hortons you spend $5. So I mean, and it's they're the same size. It's like the same thing. I get grilled chicken anyways. I don't need the crispy chicken.
Well, no, I was gonna say sometimes convenience is a little more than,
I mean, there's a Costco like right there. If I had a Costco card, I'd go in there and eat like a hot dog. Like Costco hot dogs are so good. But I, like if I had a vehicle like down where I work, like on Regent, there's like if you drive for like 5 minutes, there's like a whole thing of just like all these restaurants that you can go to. Like Mongo's is right there. There's like Five Guys. There's Wild Wings. There's like all these sushi places, and but I can't walk there. You know what I mean? Like it's just without, and then the mall is right there. So you got the food court, and but I can't walk there. That's a thing. I have an hour, and
Are you talking about close to the airport?
No.
Oh,
This is like way far. This is like if you look on the map, it's like Transcona area. So
where's that? Like south?
South? It's east. It's like east of the city.
Okay. So across the river?
It's like almost outside the city, basically, but it's like a whole little area. But you know where we went for Mongo's that time?
Yeah, it was by the airport.
Yeah, that was by the airport, but like all those things around, like all the restaurants and all the food that you've seen, that's how this is, except it's like more modern, like they just rebuilt all this before they did or after they did all that.
So that's what, on the east side of the river?
It's like yeah, it's all east. You actually have to cross the river to get to work. I actually crossed the river twice to get to work. You don't have to.
Oh, did you see JDS said Salisbury steak poutine? That would be pretty good.
Yeah, no. I already saw that. I was already like thinking about if I'm gonna make poutine or not, but I don't want anything too heavy on my stomach before I go to bed.
Oh, I had poutine, I guess. Well, I guess you couldn't call it breakfast. I guess it was like lunch.
Like a brunch.
Yeah, but it's been like weighing heavy on me all day. Like I feel like I'm bloated, and if I'm like trying to lean over forward, I'm like, man, why do I
feel it? Oh my gosh. That's how I was after lunch today. Like I was sitting and I wear like super tight pants and they're like high waisted. They almost remind me of like Patrick Swayze pants in Dirty Dancing, if you know what I mean. Like just like they and they're, I don't know. And I was looking in the mirror and I just was like, oh, I was like I just like can't. Thank God, like they're tight, so they don't. I can just kind of like, and my shirt is like loose because I wear this stupid long sleeve blouse thing. But oh my God, I just felt like such shit. I was like sitting there, and I'm like my stomach, and I'm like, oh, oh man.
That's how I always feel when after like an hour after I eat McDonald's.
Yeah, I felt like this instantly. I felt like this before I even left the restaurant. Like I'm not joking. And then the walk back to work was okay. Like you can see my windburn on my face, like how red it is. That's just from walking outside. But
that's how I gave up McDonald's. I was like, you know what?
It's right there. Like if I
and the
like,
same
like
thing,
you know, it's right there. You're right. Convenience is like a huge thing. I mean, yeah. I can walk there and just like it's super cheap. Like just go there and get your shit, and then oh, my face is burning. But Tim Hortons is like such an ordeal because the people that work there aren't like the brightest, and you never get what you ask for, and it's like 3 times the price, and it's the exact same thing. Like, you know, I don't know, and you get way less of it. Like, you get a meal for $10 that includes a coffee, a wrap, and a little tiny thing of wedge fries. But for like $8, you can get 2 burgers, a large fry, and a large coffee at McDonald's. Like it's way more. It's just, you know.
Well, the only fast food restaurant within like 6 or 7 miles of me is McDonald's. So I would just go there. I'm like, well, it's right across the street from the grocery store. I'll just go there. But then like there was just a point where I'm like, you know what? That's it. I'm done. I have to stop going to McDonald's. Like I always feel horrible when I'm done eating it. Although the fries, I still say are some of the best. I'll still eat them. But they have to be piping hot. If you let those things cool down for like at least like 2 minutes, like they almost have to burn your mouth when you're eating them. So I guess that's, Lisa, you're talking about Costco? Because we don't have a Costco. I don't even know where the heck a Costco is around here. I think they have, what the hell do they call it? Sam's Club or something? I think that's like an hour and a half away from me. But I've never seen a Costco, except for in Idiocracy. Welcome to Costco. I love you. Welcome to Costco. I love you. Oh, neat. Well, that's pretty cool. Because one of my favorite things around here is all the grocery stores have like just food. Usually some sort of chicken. They'll have a rotisserie chicken. They'll have like chicken thighs or, you know, fried chicken or chicken tenders or chicken. What the hell do they call that? Popcorn chicken. I just noticed my grocery store just started getting them the other day. they'll have fries, like the big potato wedge fries. What else do they always have? Mine will have wings. They're so overpriced, but they're already cooked and everything. Which, by the way, you get them, and by the time you get them home, they're practically all dried out and everything. So you like almost have to like get them and like put them in some sort of like, I don't know, bag with water in them or something, so they can like rehydrate or something. But hey, Lisa says you don't have to have a card to eat at the snack bar or use the pharmacy at Costco, where she lives.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. See, I feel like that would be like not well. Even just there, you have to have a card even just to enter. Like they look at your card before you even go in there. So, like we used to have a membership, but we don't anymore. That was at that time when we were like so freaking broke.
I've never had a card for any of those. I lived near one when I lived up by outside of Pittsburgh. But like, I don't know, it was just one of those things. Like my parents never, like we grew up poor, so they never like thought about having a membership to it. So like when I had money enough, I was like, yeah, there's no way I'm like paying from, I'll just go to Walmart instead.
I think it's literally like $40 a year or something. But honestly, it is, I go to Costco. If we have a membership, like that's where I get everything. I get my meat, and because you buy everything in bulk, and it's like so. I mean, you spend like $500 there, but you're good for like months. What's up, Happy? What's up, Dave?
What's up, Happy Pepper?
So did I show you my bonsai plant? How it's starting to sprout leaves?
Show it off.
I'll show you.
I assume you've got it in that room. Away from the cats and dogs.
No, it's right here. So look at starting to sprout new leaves finally. A little bonsai plant. So excited.
Did you take all the leaves off?
I took all the leaves off, yep.
You should have left.
No. You're supposed to.
Really?
Yeah.
You're supposed to take them all off?
Yep.
I would have left like one or two, but I would have cut them in half. Like width wise. That's how I clone plants too. I'll take off most of the leaves, but I'll leave a couple leaves, the smaller ones, and then I'll usually cut them in half. And that usually like puts it into like oh crap, we need to survive mode.
No, because that's okay. No. Trust me, I've looked up a lot of on this, and a bunch of the guys like on the Pepper Cruise and stuff, like they have done bonsai for like so long, and they were like, yeah, no, take off all the leaves. Like I literally ripped this plant out, like just violently ripped it out of the ground. I cut off the root ball until the root ball was maybe like this. It was like from here to here, just cut them all off, put them in soil. And I mean, as you can see, it's surviving. So
yeah,
it's, yeah, well, I wasn't sure, and I'm like, I don't really know like where to go from here. And then buddy Jeff was like, yeah, no, like that's good. Just leave it like that until it like grows more full or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, JDS said he's out. Got to be at work at 2 a.m. Jeez.
Oh shit, man.
Sucks. I mean, it's only. Was it 7 o'clock there? But still.
Okay, so like yeah, if he has to be at work at 2 a.m. Okay, I was gonna say like, if I go to bed now, technically I'll be awake at that same time as you, but.
Ouch.
Yeah. Actually, this morning was like super crazy. Like normally on Mondays, I'm like, fuck my life. But this morning, like my alarm went off, and it took me like a little while to like register that it was my alarm, because when my first alarm goes off, normally I'm like still dreaming. So it's like something is happening in my dream that has to do with this alarm.
The fire alarm's going off.
Or something. And then I heard my alarm, and I woke up, and I'm like, okay, I'm out. Like covers off, I'm out. I've never gotten out of bed that fast, and I woke up at like 4:45, so it was like 4:45.
What time did I?
You were probably still awake at that time.
No, I.
Oh yeah, because your people came today, right?
No, I was up. I was up late, and I think at like 1 o'clock or something, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take a nap in my chair, which is always the dumbest idea ever. Like, just go to bed. So I turned my chair, like reclined it and everything, and I laid back. And I remember I woke up at like 4:40 or something like that. And I was like, what the hell time is it? And I felt like okay to like just be up. And I'm like, there's no way I'm up.
And then you went back to bed, and then you were when you woke up again, you were like,
I was up at 7. Yeah, when the guys showed up, like my dog started barking. I heard them like slamming the tar paper off the roof and stuff. And I was like, okay, I'm up. And I was just like, and then like I tried to go back to sleep. Like I get my dog to curl up under my armpit with me and like put her head on my chest. And we slept like that for like an hour. And then I was up. And then I'm like, okay, no, I need more sleep. And I laid back down. But pretty much, I think like 10 o'clock. I was like, all right, fine. Apparently, I'm not going back to sleep, but I just laid in bed until like 11:30 or something, and then I guess it was about 11, and then I got out of bed, let the dog out, and then those guys were done before noon. What's up, episode?
I wouldn't have even woken up. Like if they didn't need me, I would have been like, yeah, fucking do whatever you gotta do. I was just.
No, they didn't.
Even like, okay, remember Friday? I told you I went out after work there for my friend's birthday, or coworker's birthday. Oh, see, I want to scratch my eyes so bad. I didn't get home until like so I went there right after work with one of my coworkers, Mike, and we got there around 10 after 5, maybe, right after work, and we were the first ones there. We stayed until 11:30. I was so fucking drunk. I hadn't been that drunk in a long time. I can tell you that. Like I came home, apparently I had pizza. I had we watched a movie. I can't remember this. I don't remember any of it. And I was awake and I didn't even go to bed. I don't even know what time I went to bed, like maybe 1, 2. I was up at like maybe 8 or 9 the next morning and I was perfectly fine. Because I was drinking Yeg like all night. I had like shots of Yeg, I had shots of Burt Reynolds, I had shots of freaking Zambuca. I was drinking beer all night, and apparently we walked over to Giant Tiger and bought smokes that I don't remember. Oh my god! And I was like, my boss was there too. Oh my god, I can only imagine. I'm like, let's have a fucking shot. And like we're talking about this all day.
What are shots of Burt Reynolds?
It's a butter ripple schnapps and spiced rum. Mixed together. She's got celiac, so she needs something that's like gluten free, and rum doesn't have gluten.
Gotcha.
She can drink wine and stuff like that. I don't know. I was like on the beer. I was literally like when everybody started showing up by like 5:30, 6 o'clock. I was already like a couple beers in and a couple shots in, like Mike and I both were. And I remember like getting my bill. And, oh my god, my bill was like $150. I couldn't even believe it. I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, I can't pay for this.
Man.
So like Mike like paid for most of my bill, thank God, which I'll pay him back on Friday, obviously. But yeah, no, that was bad. And then he paid for his bill, which is about the same. So him and I both just spent up $300 just between the two of us, and that's not including tip. And then we were like, and then he was like, once our bills are paid, he's like, "Want to have another beer?" And I'm like, "Okay." I don't remember any of this. Oh, it's so bad. Oh my god. Yeah, I like really went out. Like I have not drank like that in God, I can't even I literally can't remember when, but I mean, I don't know when I last drank like that. It's probably been over a year. Like
we also got to do the conversion too, because in America, like a case of beer, about $20. Like maybe a little less, maybe a little bit more, maybe like 15 for whatever brand. But you go to Canada and it's like $60 for a 30 pack. It's what, $50 for a 24 pack?
2 4. Oh gosh, sorry guys, I gotta.
Or no, is it?
No, it's not 50. At 2 4 is 44. So 44.20.
Yeah, so that's like double what it cost here. So if you
Yeah, but
spend
no. But our
But-
drinks at a restaurant are the same price. Like our drinks at a restaurant are the same price. Like my beers that I was drinking were about $6, and then our shots were about $4. So I spent $150 on shots and beers there. Well, I didn't. Mike spent for most of it, but
yeah, plus she makes a lot more than most people in America too.
me?
Yeah. Well, for the same comparable job, I should say.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what you guys make.
You were working at a bar what were you getting at the bar? Like $16 an hour and
No, at the bar I was only making about $14 an hour
plus tips.
plus tips, yeah, which is about 20% of your sales.
Yeah, where most over here it's like you get like $3.25 an hour and then you get tips.
Oh, and our tips aren't taxed like yours are.
Oh, well, if you're smart about your tips, then most of your tips don't get taxed.
No. None of our tips get taxed. I mean, you can claim them, but
Well,
No,
most of the
no.
most of the people over here don't claim a majority of their tax or their tips. That way they don't get taxed.
Nobody does. Like, what is the government going to do? It's all cash, and you spend it anyways. Like,
Yep. Well, you just never put it in the bank. You just spend it
why,
as.
who would put their tips in a bank? Like, you keep like above, but mind you, they down there they do because you guys need taxes to like live on. We still are making like $800 a paycheck just on that, but we're making like $300 a day, so why wouldn't we just spend our cash money and then keep everything else in the bank? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. And everybody's like, oh my god, Canadians have it so good. I mean, yeah, we do. Like, we have it good, but for like bartenders,
Depends on what you mean by have it good. Like, do you like to drink? Do you like to smoke? Well, you're going to pay a lot of money for both of those items. So having it good, not so much.
yeah, well, exactly. Like that, and that's me. I mean, I smoke. I'm probably even over like a pack a day now.
Yeah, $15 a pack.
Yeah.
And like $60 for a 30 pack of beer.
Well, it's $15 for an 8-pack. So just like during the week, I'll just get like an 8-pack every day. And then on the weekend is like when I really go, like, unless I'm obviously working. But then that's when I'm like, okay, I'm going to get a 2-4 per day. And then other than Sunday, I'll just drink what I have left over from Saturday, unless I only have like a couple beers. And then I'm like, okay, I need to go get like another. And then again, throughout the week, like, I don't really drink that much. Like, and then if I have one left in the morning, like, I'll drink it while I'm getting ready for work. And then, like, this morning I had 2 beers while I was getting ready for work, but I was up at 4. But then Josh stayed home because of his pink eye. So I'm like, can you drive me to work? So then I was up at like 4:45, and I didn't leave until around 7:15. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have a couple beers. Like, I don't fucking care. Like, I mean, I'm tired. Like, I need a little pick me up. It's not like I'm getting drunk.
And $15 for cigarettes. That's 25 smokes though, right?
No.
No, 20.
Little 20 packs are 15 something. The 25 packs now are like 18 something.
Jesus, man.
Yeah. So they're well, actually, one of the guys at work can get they're like res smokes technically, but they taste like this. Like, normally all the res smokes that I have are super harsh, and you can only have like half of them. And it's $60 a carton, so it's like pretty good. I mean, that's like 3 packs of smokes, because it's compared to like 8 or yeah.
Your cartons are the same, right? 10 packs.
No, 8 packs of 25.
Uh,
Or it's 200 smokes. So they either come in 25 packs, which they just like make, or 20 packs. So it equals out the same. So it's 200 smokes.
That's one thing I did not buy while I was in Canada.
Was a single pack of smokes. I know. I couldn't believe it. I was like, and like the last day you were there, you were like, well, these are my last couple packs. And I'm like, how do you still have smokes left?
No, that's the weird thing. That was 8 days, 7 nights, me and you smoking 1 carton of cigarettes, and I brought cigarettes home with me.
Yeah, I couldn't. Well, no, I brought 1 pack with me though. Like, I remember I was smoking like one of my packs.
Can't remember. Yeah, I stole the empty pack and I brought it home.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, but but I smoke like a pack a day at least.
Yeah, I smoke about a pack a day too.
Yeah, but me and you together for a week, we didn't even go through a carton.
We didn't really even drink that much, to be honest. Like, we didn't drink or smoke that as much as we thought anyways.
That mountain of cans when we were leaving was
I know, but we only got like a couple 30 packs. Plus
no, we got a couple 30 packs. I remember we got a couple 24 packs. We got a couple 18 packs.
And then you got those 2 massive, like, what are they, 40s of vodka?
No, the 1.25.
Yeah, the 40s. Yeah, remember we went through this? Those are 40s.
1.75, the big bottles. And I brought 2 of them. I brought a whole one back with me.
Yeah, I know. Well, no, because I remember when I left just for the night, you pounded like that 1 bottle, and I came back the night, and I'm like, how the fuck? That was the night I left you. I thought you're like, you're taking the weed, and I'm like, I guess I'll just leave it here.
No, you took it.
No, I took it one night, but I left it because I remember being here, and I'm like, fuck, I wish I had my weed right now. I need to book like a tropical vacation though. I really do think that that's a thing that has to happen at some point, because I just am really in need of like getting, going somewhere hot where I can just like lie on a beach and be like, I don't care, with like palm trees and like in a resort where it's like all inclusive. So I can just be like, go up to the bar and be like, can I have a fucking beer or 3, please? At like 7 in the morning, and they won't even judge me. It's like, why are you coming to the vendor this early? Why are you open this early? I don't. Well, actually, there's like a whole thing in Winnipeg right now where all like the homeless people are going into like LCs, like liquor marts, and the employees are not allowed to do anything. So they're literally underage kids, bringing backpacks inside and filling them up with alcohol. Just like, it doesn't even matter. People are filming them, and they just run out like laughing. And I'm like, you guys are fucking losers. Like, you guys are literally like the bottom of the barrel waste of skins. Like, and then they go on them, and then they go sell them. And then they brag about it. They're like, well, you stole our land, we're going to steal your liquor. I'm like, what the fuck? How does that work? That just means less welfare for you fucking idiots.
Well, kids will do goofy things.
Yeah, I can tell you exactly why, but I'm not going to say it on live.
I'm glad that we didn't have social media when I was a kid. That's for darn sure.
You didn't have social media when I was a kid.
Oh, I would have been called out for doing all kind of crazy stuff when I was a kid. Or been stupid, going like, look what I just did, and like put up something that's illegal. Like, oh yeah, way to go, idiot. Like, you just confessed to a crime.
I don't know. I just can't see you doing that. Like, I used to be like a big klepto when I was younger, and there's like half the shit I didn't even use. And I remember, I think I told you this. I had it like, yeah, I definitely did. I hid it like under my dresser, like all the shit I stole. And I was like downstairs once with my buddy, like playing like the original Nintendo or something, and my mom's like, Susan, and I was like, oh crap, okay, I'll be right back. I got up to my room and my mom was cleaning my room and like took my dresser away. There was just like a pile of like shit that I stole, like Tamagotchis. You remember those fucking things? Tamagotchis, like jewelry, makeup. And she's like, and I'm like, oh fuck, I'm gonna get in such shit. She's like, okay, like I know it's tempting to steal, but you can't do it. I remember I was wearing a backwards hat. I was wearing baggy pants and like a baggy t-shirt like I am right now, and I had like shorter hair. It was like up to here, and I'm like, yeah, okay, are we done? Oh my god, I remember that vividly.
Wait, what was the? What did you say? Tamaguchi or
A Tamagotchi.
what's that?
Those kids, they were like little, like round handheld things. They had like a little screen, and they were like basically like little pets that you would like feed. It was almost like the '90s version of like Sims in like a little thing, but it was only one little pet.
I remember that.
Yeah, and I had like a bunch of those like still in cases and stuff like that. And
well, how'd she know you stole all these items?
they were still in packages, and I had no money. I was like 8. Like I was 8 years old. Like I'm telling you, like when I say I was young, I was young. Like I wasn't like 16 or 17. And I remember I one time I did get money. It was like my allowance money, and my mom's like, okay, go pick one thing. It was Zellers. She's like, go pick one thing that you want. So I picked like this little lip gloss, and then she like gave me like some like I don't know like a $5 bill or something, and I went and paid for it, and so I had the bag, and then I went back and I stole a bunch of shit. I like put it up my sleeve, and then as we were leaving, I like dumped it all in the bag, and my mom was like, that looks like way too much. And she was like, she grabbed the receipt and there's like one thing on it. There's like 10 things in here. She made me go up to the cashier and like give it all back and like apologize. I was like, that's like way worse than, even just get like the cops catching you or something. Cause I'm young. I would have gotten away with it. No problem.
Yeah, I had a lot of friends that got busted for shoplifting, but I never did.
I got busted by my mom.
I remember I was part of the track team in high school, and they would tell us to go on this route, and like the high school was up on a hill, and it was like go like up to the junior high and then circle around and come back down the hill, circle back around and come back to the high school. Well, on that circle back around, there was this local like retail candy store where they would sell candy by the cases. Mm-hmm. And people would just go, they would have their backpacks on them. They would like run and then like go to their car or wherever, grab their backpack and then run the rest of the way, all the way to the candy store. And they would go in there and just throw like what is it? Laffy Taffy or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Laffy Taffy.
They would throw like 2 cases of them in their backpack and then like never buy anything and leave. And then like the next guy would come in and he'd grab like blow pops and he would grab like 2 or 3 cases of them in his backpack. And like, that's when you started seeing stores. Like I remember that's when you started seeing stores with signs on it, like no backpacks allowed in the store.
That's what they do at the LC. But the security guards don't give a shit. Like they just don't care. And and it's same with like bus fare here too. Like you see all the people who are like, they just don't have jobs. They're on welfare. They spend all their fucking money on like drugs and shit like that. And they come on the bus like hammered, throwing up everywhere. They're tossing beer cans in the bus, and the bus drivers are like, get the fuck on. And meanwhile, I'm here and I'm spending $6 a day on fucking bus fare. Like it's not fair, and I'm working. Like because literally bus drivers get stabbed here. Like people, if they're like, no, you can't get on the bus, people will stab them, and they have died. Like, no, it's not funny. I mean, we just had like a whole I don't know how you want to call it, like a bunch of murders in a row here, and there were like 14-year-olds, and there was a baby who got murdered, and this all happens in my area. Like it doesn't happen in the burbs, just in my area.
So the North End?
Yeah, like the North End, which is like the ghetto.
What?
And it's just like it's so bad. You know, this is the only area you'll see with shopping carts on the corner of every fucking street. Like, I'm not joking. That shopping cart that I sent you from last week, it's still there. It's still, I don't know. It's ridiculous.
And watch the North End die. Sing,
Really?
I love
I
this.
would love to watch the North End be nuked. Just wait till I'm at work and then nuke it. I'll send my animals somewhere. I don't give a shit. Fuck it. What's up, Lewis?
What's up, Lewis?
Or Louie. Maybe it's Louie.
I don't know. I've been calling him Lewis for a long time. He's never corrected me. So either I'm completely wrong and he's polite, or that's the way you say it.
It's either Louie or Lewis.
Yeah.
Ugh, yeah, I gotta go to bed soon. It's 9:30 already. Ugh, my eyes are like. I'm sure it doesn't help that I'm smoking in here, but
It's 10:30 here.
I know I have to be up at 4:30. Well, I usually wake up at 4:30 and then stay in bed till 4:45. Yes, you are right. Well, which one? Is it Louie or Lewis? Yes.
Or no, well, no. If it's Lewis, just say you're correct, and then we'll assume if it's Louis, we're incorrect. So that way, that should be able to get to. Unless you want to do like Lewis for do a 1 for Lewis and 2 for Louis.
No, now you're making it complicated.
That's what I do. Make things complicated.
Is it Lewis? I feel like I'm magicking like a magic 8-ball. Is your name Lewis?
And the answer is
Yeah.
Lewis.
Oh, there you go.
Nice. I was gonna say I've been calling him Lewis like forever, and he's never been like,
Oh,
yeah.
I thought Lewis was always like L-U. Oh wait, maybe that's Louis. I don't know.
No, there's another Lewis, Lewis.
Oh yes. But that's
Yeah.
somewhere near.
But that's like obvious that is not Louis. That is Lewis.
I've seen a guy. His name is spelled Leroeye, and I'm like, I'm looking at this. I'm like, this is a very awkward name. And he's like, it's Leroy, and I'm like, Leroy. Oh yeah, like it literally. If you sound it out, it's exactly Leroy. But it
with
just
an extra E at the end.
no. Leroy is usually Leroy. No, No, it's Leroy.
Yeah, that's what I said.
No, this is Leyoe. Wait, Lee. No, wait, hold on. What did I just say? Leroeye. Like Leroy, and then I, like EYE at the end. So that's why I was like Leroy, like Leroy. And he's like, it's Leroy, and I'm like Leroy. Oh yeah. And it was just like because I didn't even bother to. I just kept trying to sign. Never mind.
I love names with like that are like common names, but with weird ways of spelling.
Yeah.
Like the just weird names. I'm like I'm hit or miss on them. Like sometimes they're really cool. Sometimes I'm like, man, that's dumb. But like when it's like a common name, like Tom, but it's like THOM. Like, okay, I get what you did there. You took Thomas and you took the AS off the end. Because that was one of my teachers.
Took the ass out of it, yeah.
Well, that was one of my teachers growing up. Because we would call him Thom. We just thought that was hilarious.
That reminds me of that Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron or Thomas or D-Nice.
Oh, my boss's name was Denise, and we called her D-Nice.
Yeah, D-Nice.
Nice. Oh, coming up very soon.
Wait,
What is
my
it?
sister's birthday is on the 8th, yeah.
That's 10 days.
Is it already? Oh my god.
Oh, yeah, it's the 28th. So there's
Yeah.
31 days this month.
Yep.
What's up, Pepper Guru?
Hey, what's up, Rich?
Wait. Who's Alexa?
That's
You mean like this little box over here, Alexa?
what I feel like, because he's saying it like we know who it is.
Which, if you noticed, I've learned my lesson and I keep it on mute, which is the red ring around the top there. Unmuted.
Yeah.
Muted.
You've definitely learned your lesson.
Like, hang on, I'm gonna go take a whiz real quick, and I come back, and like an hour later, alarms are going off, music's playing, like all kind of crazy.
Oh my gosh, I remember when you went to the bathroom and I was like, hey Alexa, play some scary music at 3 o'clock in the morning. And you were like, had to work the next day. I don't even know if it did yet.
I don't know.
Oh, see, Rich, that would be the scariest thing. Or when it was like you kept trying to get it to sing happy birthday, and then Rob Z was like, you're like, she just doesn't do it. And he's like, Alexa, sing happy birthday. And she's like, and then you were like, see? And then she was like, happy birthday. That was so like the best. Oh my God, that was like last summer. Or no, like, well, that was like as soon as you got it. Yeah.
No, that was this year.
Yeah, that must have been this year. Yeah, earlier this year.
I didn't get her until, I don't know, like maybe December, but probably more like January, February.
Yeah, you like were in love with that thing. Yeah, your whole go-to was like, hey Alexa, what's the temperature? Yeah.
That's all I ever asked. I always asked,
I know that.
What's the temperature outside, and what is whatever temperature you tell me in Celsius in Fahrenheit.
Or what's the temperature in what's the temperature in Winnipeg? The temperature in Winnipeg, Colorado, or something. And you're like, no, Winnipeg, Manitoba. You never learned that one.
No, the whole reason I got it was because I had OK Google. I'm just waiting for it to light up. But I got the Google Assistant, and then I got Siri with my work phone, and I made them talk back and forth. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to make them both talk to Alexa. But Alexa's a snob. She won't talk to OK or Google Assistant or Siri.
Talk to OK Google.
Well, that's what you say to get it to activate.
I understand. I have Android, remember?
Yeah, well, I have not.
I don't use that shit, though. It's Bixby on my phone. Her name's Bixby. And she's just so annoying because every time I push this button, she she'll just be like, hello, Susie, blah, 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 blah. This is like all the news for today in all of Canada. And I just, and then like when my alarm goes on, it's like my nice little alarm. And then it's like, the time is 4:30 a.m. The weather is, and I'm just like, shut up. Like, and then I'm like, okay, I need to wake up better. And then I just end up going back to sleep. Like,
you're making me have nightmares, man. What
the? Really though? Like she starts talking and she's like, "What's on the news today? Here's the news." And it's like, this soccer player broke his ankle because he, it's like, why the fuck? I'm like, I don't even. When have I ever looked up soccer? You know what I mean? Ugh,
or football if you're in the UK.
Well, I'm not. So, oh my gosh, here's something creepy. Okay, so one of these dudes on my Pepper groups like added me on Facebook, and I'm like, okay, like I'll usually be like, if we have enough mutual friends, like normally the thing is like for me, it's like 20 mutual friends that are Pepper lovers or whatever. I'll be like, okay, accept, because I'll see his, and he totally is from the UK, and he was like, do you want me to buy you a ticket to the UK to visit? And I've never met this guy in my fucking life. I'm like, I don't even know you. He's like, okay, I'm Sir, or whatever his name is. And then I'm like, oh, okay, cool. He's like, no, but I'm being serious. And I like literally stopped talking to him, and I've got like 26 messages from him and I haven't even looked at them because I don't want to keep them unread. They like know, like, so that he knows that I read them. And then I just like I can see the beginning of his last message, and he was like, okay, so you don't want to talk ... And I'm like, this freaking guy, man. Oh gosh. Oh no, my eyes starting to puss up. Oh.
Yeah, the joys of being a chick on social media.
No, but I don't know what his freaking deal. Oh, gosh, my eyes are starting to puss up now.
There's a lot of wacky guys out there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They're all fucked. They're all fucked, if you ask me.
So what that? So wait, Lewis, are you still here? Like that Alexa that I just pulled up?
Yes, everybody says. And then Lisa's birthday is on the 4th. Oh my gosh. Not congratulations. Happy birthday.
November the 4th. That's the day before remember the 5th of November.
Yeah.
Guy Fawkes Day.
I just watched that movie, actually.
I haven't seen that in a while.
Yeah, Josh and I just watched it. He was like, do you like V for Vendetta? And I'm like, yeah. Ooh, why not? Like,
it's got Natalie Portman in it.
It's about taking down the fucking government. Like, hello.
Echo Dot. That's what I got. The Echo Dot. I like it. I don't know. I got it really cheap, so it's not that big of a deal to me to like just have it, but I don't really use it for a lot of things. Like I've seen a lot of people, like especially people that are like, I hate that, our devices are listening to us, which the Alexa does. So does,
phones do that too.
Yeah, so does your phone. And this guy hated it, but he's like, let me tell you why I do like it. And he started going through like, set an alarm for like 20 minutes or whatever. Play me this music, do this, do that. Like he was going through all these things. And I'm like, that's kind of cool. Like me personally, I don't think I would use all those.
You know what I do? Oh, there it is. Yeah. I don't have to be like, okay, look for this. No, I said this, not this. Oh my God. Okay. Mute. Now unmute. And then you know what I mean? It feels like a lot of work to me. It honestly, it's like going through a McDonald's drive-through and you have so many like add-ons to your burger, and the person, like, you want to just be like, okay, this I can pick off, this I can pick off, because they can only handle like the first two things that you say to them, and then your whole burger's fucked up if you say like the entire list. Like, I want extra onions, extra ketchup, I want no pickles, I want extra cheese, I want, like, I mean, the list goes on, right? I'd rather just be like, extra ketchup, extra onions. Like, listen, I'll pick off the pickles, I'll pick off this, I'll pick off this. It doesn't register for them. That's and no offense to people who like work at McDonald's. Like, I'm not saying that. I mean, but I live in Winnipeg, and it's like the shittiest fucking city ever. Like, no one here is smart. I'm serious.
Well, it might not be anything about smart. It might be about like the technology of the microphone and the speaker.
No, it's not.
Because I go through.
I worked at McDonald's in like basically the 90s. And I can tell you the technology is a hell of a lot better now than it was back then. And I seem to get it perfectly fine.
Well, I'll go like through not McDonald's, Wendy's, and I'll be like, I'll take a chicken BLT minus the bacon. And they're like, what was that? I'm like, a chicken BLT
exactly.
minus the bacon.
It's not, trust me, but they read the whole thing back to you. And then your burger is fucked up. I'm like, can you please? And I always say, I'm like, can you read it back to me what I just said? Like, I don't want to be a bitch about it, but I mean, listen, if I'm on my lunch break and I just worked all day, half the day, I guess. I want to have a good, not a good lunch, but for what McDonald's is, like, I want it to be mediocre and not like shitty, And then they're like, okay, here you go. But now, like, this is the first time, like, that I've gone into a McDonald's in, like, years. I'm not even joking. And now they have, like, oh gosh, it's just so high tech now. Like, you can order on your phone and pick it up. You can order at the table and they'll deliver it to you. They give you, like, your number and all your numbers up there and what line and queue it is. And they have, like, these little backrests inside that you can, like, and I'm just like, holy fuck, I remember like the powder blue spinny chairs, like when they were, a thing that only went so far one way and then you had to go back the other way only so far.
And they would spin too, because you would like turn your chair and it would
I literally just said that. I said they would spin so far this way and then they would stop and then you had to spin quickly the other way and it would be like and then you just like that's all you did and then your feet would get caught up in like that little bar in the middle. Yeah, but now it's like high tech and it's like I don't even know, except for, oh my God. So I was sitting down to lunch today, okay, and I wanted to just like have peace and quiet. Most of the people there, because I went later. I went at around 2:30-ish. No. I went at 1:59. So remember, I was like, I want it to be 2:00. So anyways, the fucking place doors with all the little kids and stuff were squeaking. It was like, and this little girl was standing there opening the door and closing it all fucking lunch hour. I'm like, oh my God. And I'm like, I literally was looking around and I'm like, whose kid is this? Like, honestly. And these two chicks that were like sitting there, like they didn't have a goddamn care in the like it wasn't bugging them. I mean, they probably got sex at home. But I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh my God, I literally ate my fries, I ate my stupid fucking snack wrap. I took my goddamn took my junior chicken to work with me and I'm like, I can't stand this. And like, but like the little kid gave me like a sweet smile on the way out. Like she actually held the door open for me to the play place. Like I'm gonna go in there. Okay. But I was like, okay, I hate you a little less right now. But that was so annoying. Like it was like, and you could hear it throughout the entire restaurant.
And I said it, but I don't know if it came out. But what's up, Gage?
Oh, hey, what's up, Gage? Pink slime meat. Ugh, that's so gross. Exactly.
Mechanically separated chicken.
With like mealworm and stuff, and it's just so unappetizing. Ugh. And like the nuggets. Oh God, I can't even. Oh my gosh, I ate that today. Oh, actually, I had chicken. I had grilled chicken, but I didn't eat the burger. But
yeah, that's
I had a junior chicken anyway, so I had a grilled chicken, not snatch wrap. I keep wanting to call it that, snack wrap, and then junior chicken.
That's the mechanically separated chicken.
Well, yeah. Well, they glue it together. That's what grocery stores do with all their meat.
Oh wait, no, yeah. Well, I guess technically, first off, it's mechanically separated chicken, which means like all the rib meat, like the meat in between the ribs and stuff like that, they pull all that stuff off. They pretty much pull off anything they can and then put it in a giant grinder and grind it down to a pink slime, and then they make stuff out of the pink slime.
Yeah, Rich, I'm like exactly where you are. Because we were talking about this earlier. So like where my dealership is and I don't have a car, for my lunch hour, I get an hour. And it's super frustrating because I have a Tim Hortons right across the street and I have a McDonald's. And Tim Hortons is you get the same thing with Tim Hortons, your meal. In fact, you actually get less, but you're paying like twice as much. And that's all I can get within walking distance up for like my hour lunch break. And plus I wear heels to work. So like walking down the sidewalk in heels at lunch hour where like the wind is hurting your face and you feel like you're going against a tidal wave, it is like really not good. So I'm like, listen, I'll walk 5 minutes to McDonald's or I'll walk 5 minutes to Tim Hortons. But it's all just, I don't know. Or I can bring my own lunch, but like the lunchroom is always so crowded upstairs with like the salesmen and like the mechanics and everybody. Meal prep, I know, but like again, I would have to like, and the microwave is like never available. Like I can tell you, like never available. I've even tried. I'm off at 5 every day, and I've even tried taking my lunch at like 3:00, and it's still like packed. And I'm just like, how the hell? Oh my God, ugh. And I mean, I can warm up my food, but then I'll have to eat in my boss's office. She's like, "Yeah, you can just eat here. I don't give a shit." But yeah, no, I mean, and it's like dirty, like, so everybody's supposed to clean up after themselves, but it's like there's like oil on the table, and then like all the garbage is like overflowing, and I just like, oh, I know, but we don't have Uber Eats here. We've skipped the dishes, which is like $5 by itself for delivery. So that is like completely out of the question because I'm not paying $5 for delivery for like $10 of food plus a tip. Not Uber Eats. No, we don't have Uber Eats here where I am. We only have Skip the Dishes or not Dine and Dash, DoorDash. But that's still even like $3 or whatever for delivery.
I've just found that we've got DoorDash here.
Oh, no way. Well, actually, the first month that we had it, it was free delivery. So I'm like, fuck, Skip the Dishes. I'm like, I'm gonna da-da-da-da-da. But
I still have Skip the Dishes app on my
I know, yeah, you still skip. You're never gonna delete that, are you?
They keep sending me emails like all the time. Like $10 off your order this week if you order blah blah blah.
Yeah, I do use Skip the Dishes if I'm like drunk or something and like have some money and I'm like, hey, whatever, I'm just gonna order Skipper.
The best was when we ordered Five Guys.
Oh, that burger was so good.
It was so good.
Yeah, that was delicious. But we have a Five Guys, like it's a 5-minute drive from my work, but it would be like a 40-minute walk from where I am. That is so frustrating because I'm like, oh, it's right there. That's why I'm like normally like to the guys in the back, I'm like, does anyone want to go for lunch? Yeah, it's frustrating. And everybody's like, I brought a lunch, and then I'm like, okay, well, you're gonna use the microwave for 5 minutes out of my lunch hour.
Yeah, I like taking my own lunch, but
oh, I love it. I only usually do that if there were like 6 microwaves in our lunchroom, which is our lunchroom is smaller than this room. I'm not joking. It's smaller than this room. It's like one little table. You can get 4 chairs there. And there's like 8 people that take their lunch at the same time at any given time.
no, well, my taking my lunch was, and you already know this, but was always like a can of like fruit cocktail. I'd take
I know, yeah. You used to have your like the raccoons that were there. You're like, I only finished half of it.
Oh, well, yeah, I wouldn't eat the pears. I'd give them to the raccoons, but I would take like 3 of these 32-ounce bottles, and 2 of them would be frozen, 1 would be liquid. And then I would have space enough for 2 cans of fruit cocktail. And normally I would just take that. So I didn't have to do anything. Just break open the top of a can and start eating. And if I felt like crazy, go through both cans. But I would never eat the pears on either one.
Rebel, you.
Yeah.
2 cans of fruit cup? Oh my gosh.
Well, they were big. They're like 12-ounce cans.
Oh, I thought you meant like the little like applesauce sized. Okay.
Oh no, they're like regular can size.
What's the weirdest thing you've ever fed a raccoon?
Pears.
I've never fed a raccoon, actually, unless you count my cat. But that cat won the fight, and actually, we've technically fed the raccoon to the cat. So
pears.
Popcorn. I remember you guys used to feed popcorn all the time.
Yeah, that crap.
And Rocky. Yeah.
Yeah, the hull-less popcorn, the stuff that when you put it in your mouth, it like melts in your mouth, so it's not even real popcorn. We fed that. The guy I worked with would feed anything left over that he had to the raccoons, which we would just like go right outside the garage door and just dump it on the ground. And they would come, they lived like right next to there, and they would come and eat on it. So like he'd be like, I got some fries left over from Wendy's, and he would like dump it on the ground. Or what else? Like he would have like part of a sandwich left over, and he would put it on the ground, and they would eat that. Or what else did we feed? I think that was about it. We didn't feed the coons too much, but anything we had left over, we would feed them. But more than that, anything we had left over and we didn't feed them, we would throw it into the garbage cans. The garbage cans were 55-gallon trash cans right inside the garage door. and they learned how to like walk right in,
Oh God,
right up, and like go right into the trap and like dig out whatever they wanted.
Sorry, I was reading Rich's comment. Although I should say, like, my dog would do that. And they love margaritas. I wouldn't, well, mind you, I'm not a big margarita fan, but if I was, I wouldn't waste it on raccoons.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. I'm kind of weird with my alcohol. I try not to waste the alcohol.
Yeah, me too. I'm the same.
Because you don't buy it, you only rent it.
Yep.
But yeah, and I love margaritas.
They sip them when you're not looking. See, the raccoons here, they don't really come up to people like ever. Like, we don't have a problem like of them. Well, we don't have a problem with them, I should say, rather, in our garbages or anything. They're mostly just like in the forested area, and they'll clean up like the garbage in the parks and stuff like that, but never on our on our properties or anything. Even the ones that live by the, well, I shouldn't say the ones that live by the river, because I don't know, because I don't live by the river. But I know there are little hands. Have you seen the one where the raccoon walks on 2 feet and then
into the garage,
and then he just like steals like the cat.
He's like runs out on his hind legs,
and he's got like a whole armful of cat food.
Yep.
And the cat's like, what the fuck? Dude,
that's how Ricky.
He's like, I'm not even mad. I'm impressed.
That's how Ricky and Rocky were. They would like go over and like grab food and just like run away on their hind legs with it up in the air. It was so funny.
Well, did you guys see that recent? There was a video of this. Okay, so it's like a video camera or whatever, not a video, but like a security cam in someone's backyard, and this cat was like chasing away the raccoon from down the stairs. And the raccoon was like, whatever, and then like ran over to the sprinkler and like maneuvered his hands to the sprinkler so that the water was like shooting right at the cat. It was like the most brilliant thing I've ever seen. He was like, well, I'm not going to win this one. Runs down the stairs, goes onto the lawn, and is like, you know what I mean? And the water was like spraying right at the cat. It was brilliant. Oh my gosh. I was like, that is one smart coon, man.
There's some funny animals. Like they're
just like, they're very quirky, you know?
Oh, they're like cats meet like monkeys. Like they are so great. Like they'll go to like a stream bed and they'll dig up like mussels or clams or something, and they'll go over to rocks and beat them off a rock until they break them open.
Monkeys do that with nuts, like with walnuts. Like they, I remember watching a documentary on this. Well, actually, my mom and I went to see this one in theaters. Don't ask me why. She wanted to see it, so I'm like, whatever. And they would like grab the walnuts and they'd put them on like this big log, and they'd grab like a stick or like a big ass log, and they would like, you know, hit it, like they'd use these things as a weapon. And you just see like the little babies with like the nuts, and they're like trying to copy what their like mom or whatever's doing, and they're grabbing like little twigs and they're like, it was like the funniest thing.
And did you hear that scientists have said that primates like monkeys, baboons, like all those like, you know, primate type animals, they say that now they have actually entered the stone age. So they're actually starting to use stone tools just like we did.
Yeah.
Like
that doesn't surprise me like at all, honestly. Like when you watch this documentary, like they actually so they form like so they have like their territory in like the jungle or wherever they're living, right? And then they have certain like calls, but they're like banging on trees, but like a different sequence means something else. So like it's either like a victorious, or we're defeated and we got to move on, or like we're being attacked, or it's time to attack. And it's like a certain set of like hitting this tree. And they also have different monkeys for each role. So you've got the monkeys that are like your decoys. You've got the ones that are like going to be like the attackers. You've got the defenders, and these are like their roles. Like they know their run. They've been assigned this. And I just feel like that's so strategic. of these things. I mean, of these primates that we have our primitive sides too, but I mean, like, obviously not. We've lost that over many years.
Yeah. What's up, Bran MG? Do I know about MK Ultra? Yeah, it's a CIA mind control thing that they said they gave up in what, the late 60s or early 70s, but yeah. Oh, but also same thing. Beavers do the same thing with their tails. They'll smack their tails off the water and alarm
You're
other.
talking to me about beavers? No, not like that. I mean, literally beavers. Like they're on our freaking nickel. We have so many beavers around here. There was a freaking loose beaver just like a couple weeks ago on the goddamn highway where the moose was running down and up, or up and down, or whatever. And it was just chilling in the middle of traffic. It was like, duh, 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 duh. I know. I realized what I said after that. Yeah, A, I have one, and B, I have one on the nickel.
And he also said tree knocking is a major Bigfoot thing too, which I've heard that. But I don't exactly believe in Bigfoot. But what is it? Amphithecus. That's the second word. I can't remember the gigantic Amphithecus. Whatever. It's like it's a giant primate that was around, which could be what Bigfoot is today. Gigantopithecus. That's what it is. And I'd have to look it up. But Brand says can't say they're watching. No, if you're online, everything's being watched.
Yeah. And Rich, yes, we know that you know Gigantopithecus.
There you go.
So you basically were right. Oh, pardon me.
Well, that was just a giant ape that was living in North America. And that's where, like, the theory of Bigfoot is, like, maybe
okay,
it's...
but was it North America at the time, or was it still, like, Pangea?
No, it was North America at the time.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was a couple hundred years ago. Like
Pangea was
No, Gigantopithecus.
Oh, okay.
I think that was like 200 to 400 years ago it lived. Like, they found bones, but
so it was super recent then.
But they've never found a live one. If I'm correct. I could be wrong about that.
Oh, sorry, I can't stop yawning. I need to eat something too.
Like music. If you would play your own music, we could call you Yanni. Oh, that was dumb.
Yeah. I'm too tired to like actually laugh. Oh my god, I can't stop yawning now.
Well, that says something, because you did laugh.
Oh my goodness. Oh my god. I don't know what I'm gonna make to eat. I really want poutine. But I just don't.
Just make food.
It's 10 o'clock already, and I don't know, make something.
Well, it doesn't take that long. Just make poutine. Turn the oil on. Bring the potatoes in. Start cutting them up.
No, I know, but
what I do is I turn the oil on and start cutting up the potatoes as soon as.
Okay, like, I understand how to make poutine, rookie. Okay.
No, I was gonna say, like, as soon as, like,
No, I know that, but you don't have to be awake at 4:30. I do, and it's 10 o'clock right now. Like, I don't feel like I might just make something like a leftover something or whatever. Like, I don't want to do this because I have to make the gravy too, and I have to make the fries, And I had to cut up the fries out of potatoes. I'm not doing that. It's too much fucking work.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Do you have leftovers? Because that's always the easiest way to go. Just throw some leftovers on a plate, throw them in the microwave, minute and a half, bam, done.
Oh, I don't even know if I have any leftovers. I don't know. I might just make maybe I'll make like a chunky soup or something.
That is like one of my favorite things to do is keep a bunch of cans of soup in the cupboard just in case you want something to eat but you don't want to cook. Because you just throw that in a pot, turn it on, I don't know.
Well, I've got beef stew, I've got a prime rib stew, and I've got a butter chicken soup.
I always try to keep like chicken noodle and chicken and rice.
I love like cooking ramen, but I love like obviously adding like my own stuff to it. But I don't have any ramen. I might have a chicken noodle actually, because that's not too heavy.
Yeah, I don't have any ramen, but that was on my mind lately that I want to buy some just because I want to be really cheap about food.
Well, it is cheap. It's cheap and you can make it good.
Oh yeah, it's like 10 for $10 or 10 for $1. So it's like 10 cents a piece each packet. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure.
Well, actually it's like 25 cents per packet here. But it's like so easy. I mean, you get like a whole little packet. It's like $1, and yeah, it's 20 cents, I guess it would be. So it is technically still double what you guys are paying, but.
Hey, Bran, they've been saying we've been in the end of times for like the last 2,000 years. So, just saying.
Should I make soup?
I don't know.
Well, I should probably get off here anyways, because you said you'd let me know in half an hour, and it's already been like an hour and a half. I'm gonna get off here and make some stew. Or soup. I think I have chicken noodle. I don't want anything too heavy, so I think chicken noodle would be good.
Wait, you got stew?
Yeah, like the chunky stew, like beef stew, that prime rib stew. But that's too heavy, like right now, especially if I'm gonna go to bed right away.
Yeah, true. I was gonna say I would totally go for the stew.
But if I have chicken noodle, it's like super light, you know. Okay. All right, guys, I'm gonna sign off. I will see you on another time, baby.
Enjoy that food.
Oh, I will. How do I exit this again? Oh yeah. All right. See you guys
later. Ooh. Now it's just us. Yeah. Bran, everything is deception. And look into, what is it, Project Bluebeam. And I especially say that because you say find Jesus, King Yeshua will be his real name. Yeah, well, the government already has plans to put holograms in the sky of Jesus coming back to Earth to trick people into thinking that that Jesus is coming back to Earth. What's up? I don't know how the hell to pronounce that. Clan. We'll just call him Clan. What's up, Clan? Donate $20 right away. All right. That's what you want to do. Mud flood reset. Are you trying to trick me into some kind of going into some religious argument, trying to tell me King Yeshua is real. If I remember correctly, Yeshua is the name of God, not the name of Jesus. And Jesus was the Son of God. Not God itself. Because if you follow the Christian doctrine, Jesus isn't like the end all be all. It is the Trinity that is the end all be all. It's the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. It's not just Jesus. That always bothers me, where people are just like, oh, Jesus is king. And like, yeah, well, it doesn't exactly work like that. It's a Trinity. It's three parts to a thing. It's not one. So you can't say like Jesus is the only thing, because you get the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. So there's three parts to it, not just one. That's what Christianity was talking about. Yeah, and Yahweh. That was the actually Yahweh. Wasn't Yahweh, that was the Old Testament name for God before the Trinity came in. It's funny. If we talked about this while Susie was here, she would be like, what the hell? Hang on, let me grab some juice. Yeah, but more than that, I don't know. I don't care. If you want to talk about stuff like that, go for it. But I'm sure most people don't want to talk about that kind of stuff. Yeah, exactly. It's not even exactly, yeah. It's not even like Yahweh or Yeshua or anything. It's YHWH, which is why it's usually written on the altar every time you go into a church, which means Lord in Hebrew. Or is it Hebrew or is it Aramaic? No, I guess it was Hebrew. And no, Bluebeam is two different things. One was aliens, and the second one was Jesus coming back to life, or coming back to Earth, and coming through the sky. And they're both trickery from the government to create order within the the Earth. Which, yeah, and there's also fake alien invasion, and I know you don't believe in any of that stuff, Susie. But it is a government program. And it doesn't matter if you don't believe it or you do believe it. Well, I guess it's more about if you do believe it, because it's a government program to trick you into thinking that Jesus is coming back. But it's not. It's just the government trying to create a social order because they feel like the whole order of the earth is out of their control, and that's where they're trying to bring it around and bring it back to their control, messing with your faith, trying to think of that. Well, Well, there could have been a Jesus, but is he coming back? Well, I don't know. Let's look through what was actually written in the prophecies and said that he would be coming back within 1,000 years. Well, it's been 2,000 years and he still hasn't come back. So, or did he come back and we once again killed him? There's a whole big question right there. Conundrum all in itself. Jesus is coming back. That's what they said. Still hasn't happened. It's been 2019 years. Still nothing. Which, by the way, I mean, if you want to start going into like weird facts and stuff like that, look back through history. There's 3 times in written history that Jesus was ever brought up. One of them, I forget what the guy's name is, but that guy has been a known plagiarist that always, like, or not always, I shouldn't say always, that has been known to say false things. And then there was 2 other accounts which are not corroborated without the rest of history. So you could go ahead and figure that out. So. And the Bible did say about him coming back in 1,000 years, because they said millennia. That's 1,000 years. I don't remember the missionary that got shot to death trying to spread the word of God. I remember the guy that went to, I remember the story of, I didn't watch the video because when I heard about it, I'm like, yeah, I don't need to watch that. The missionary that went to the island full of cannibals, where he went there to spread the word of God. And when he landed, he pretty much ended up getting killed and eaten. So there was that. If you ever read into the Revelations and missing books, the material is wild. Yeah, not only that, but like the Dead Sea Scrolls, where you got John Michael Allegro, who wrote the book The Sacred Mushroom and the Cross. I could go on and on and on and on and on about all this stuff. Like, I know a lot of different stuff about this. But off the coast of India, I think Susie's talking about exactly what I'm talking about. Diving for gold. He wasn't on a mission. Wait, what? No, I heard that he was like literally like on a missionary trip to go to the Cannibal Island, whatever one that was. So the boat driver, I didn't think it was a boat. Or yeah, I guess it was a boat. I don't know. I didn't watch the video. I just heard the stories. He told the guy not to. No, I heard that. He told the guy not to go to the island. And the guy did anyway. And he got, yep, like Susie said, he got shot with arrows and died. Oh, right. Yeah. And the fisherman that took him there was charged with murder. The captain was the only boat that took his money to go there. Yeah. Okay. Well, I didn't watch the actual video. I just read stories about it and listened to other people talking about it. So I totally could have got it wrong if it wasn't all about a mission. I thought the guy was like a missionary type person that was going there. I thought he was going in by like helicopter or something like that. But I guess a boat would be a little more the way to go. Do I believe in Jesus? What, as a person or as the Son of God? As a person, I don't know. As the Son of God, I really don't know. But I do know that, like, throughout history, like, there really is no history in all of the known history of Jesus being a man. Now, do I believe that he was a man? Yeah, probably. It's probably that guy out there. It's probably embellished, like the Da Vinci Code said, like, they took all the gospels that made him look like a god and threw away all the stuff that made him look like a man. Yeah, that totally could happen, because Council of Nicaea, that's where you get your whole New Testament from. The New Testament, it was just a bunch of scriptures that they put together, and like apparently they had like the scripture of Mary Magdalene thrown away. She was a whore. We don't need to know anything about that. And he fell in love with her. Like, different stuff like that. They would just throw it away. But as far as like a man, yeah, probably. As far as a god, probably not. Do I know? No, I don't know for sure. But I know it's an interesting story. So I'm not going to throw the baby out with the bathwater just because I don't think that story fits the narrative. But at the same time, it's a story. And I would like the story to hang around, because whether it's true or it's not true, I think over time and people looking into it, it's going to be proved whether it's true or not true. But as far as blind faith goes, no, I don't have blind faith. Oh, yeah. I think you're right, Susie. We're probably talking about two different people. I was talking about the one, I swear it was like a helicopter. He was in a helicopter and they were flying into an island with cannibals. And I thought he like rappelled down or whatever. And they shot him on the way down, ended up killing him, and then eating him, I'm pretty sure, because they were, cannibals. So. What else we got? Son of God doesn't exist. It's a black man. Well, if you're talking about Jesus was a black man, well, Jesus was born in the Middle East, so he would have been of Middle East descendant. So I wouldn't say he would be a black man. He would be an Arabic man, which, I mean, technically at the time, he was like born around the area of Palestine, which nowadays they call it Israel. And yeah. All right. Well, I gotta laugh at that one, because Brand says, "What are you talking about? There's a reason your satanic government has all that Bible stuff in the Vatican. There's way more stuff in the Vatican than you would ever believe. By the way, there's no such thing as Satan. It's never mentioned in the entire Bible. You're talking about Lucifer. Lucifer was mentioned in the Bible, I believe, once. And Lucifer is the light bearer. He's not Satan, the opposite of God. And there's no mention of Lucifer being the fallen angel in the Bible. And if there is, by all means, point it out to me, because I've looked into that a lot and I do not know anything about that. Yes, they say that, and that's usually where you're talking about Catholicism. Catholicism comes up with all kind of stuff that is not in the Bible. It's all stuff that's interpretations of the Bible or stuff after the Bible was made, and they came up with like their own little versions of the Bible. So if that's what you're talking about, by all means, give me verses. I'll look them up and we'll see what the heck it actually means. Because to my knowledge, That's not in there whatsoever. The only mention of hell in the Bible was what was it? One or two mentions of hell. They call it hell, and the actual word is Sheol, which means grave. So there's that as well. And Susie's asking about evolution. Well, I will give you this one, Brand, that if he is real, I would not put it past the government to try to hide that he would be real. So that's for sure. But Bible says he's black. I do not. I've only read the Bible, I don't know, the whole way through like 3 times, which half the Bible is about Jesus. The other half is about like the whole first part, the Old Testament. But I do not remember ever hearing anywhere that the Bible says that Jesus is black. It is assumed that he's black because he comes from, or not black, he's brown because he comes from the Middle East. But as far as the Bible says he's black, no, I do not remember that at all. I remember a lot about the Bible, but nothing about Jesus being black. And I always thought it was funny because I'm in North America, and every picture you ever see, Jesus is white. Where, you think about it and you're like, well, he was from the Middle East. He's probably brown, not white. But wait, where's he coming with that? Scientifically proved where Homo sapiens came from. What, Africa? Which that's another one of my favorite shirts is we are all Africans because, like all life supposedly started in Africa and then like moved outward from there. I think that's what you're talking about. Well, no, I'm putting the burden of proof on you, Brand, because you're the one that's coming and saying that everything that you're saying is correct. I don't buy the whole look it up yourself. I can look it up myself, but you could also look it up and give me the exact same thing, and then we can go from there. Yeah, it's absolutely correct because we're the third rock from the sun, which is perfect because if we were the second, it's way too hot. If we were the fourth, it's way too cold for our biological makeup. Yeah, well, if you believe the galaxy is infinite, then not only does that mean there's aliens out there, but there are an infinite number of an infinite kind of aliens out there too. What's up, Loki? What's going on? You want to get in on the Bible debate, Loki? Evolved from microorganisms over hundreds of millions of years. Yep. So we got Revelation 1:15, Revelation 1:13, 1:14, 1:16. Yeah, but that's also Revelation. Those were also dreams. Revelations, like the entire book of Revelations, were dreams that were written down that they put in there. That's why the last book, because they weren't people's actual interactions with things that happened. They were dreams. So there was also the three-headed dragon with each what was it? Each head of the three-headed dragon had 3 horns, which represents the 666, which equals the beast, and blah blah blah. No, I don't buy into like the revelation part whatsoever at all, because they're all dreams. I got dreams. I got weird dreams. And if I put them all down and then put them at the end of a religious book, that doesn't make them true. I don't even... wait, now let me skip back to Susie. I don't think we've... Or no, did we? I think maybe we did in the last year take a picture of a black hole. But I think we did in the last year. But prior to that, we never took a picture of a black hole. Because I remember like looking it up and they were like, we've never had an actual picture of a black hole. And I'm like, no way. Like, how come they got these pictures all over the place? But I'm pretty sure they did in like the last year. I think they got their very first picture. And it's like... it's not infrared, but it's like some weird where they had like reversed the technology of the photograph or something like that. I can't remember exactly. All religions have their own God. Yeah, and they're usually a Trinity-based religion where you have 3 different beings. I guess I can't tell you if you're lying, but also, if you saw it in a dream, what makes you certain that that is real? I've seen a lot of things in dreams, and I can guarantee most of them are not real. I had a dream last week where, well, no, I'm not going to get into that dream. That was a weird one. All I can say is there's a lot of different things. I don't know. This whole, I don't know. I don't like getting into all this stuff, man. It's almost like I got 3 hours worth of an explanation to give you one answer kind of thing. I've got a lot of different information. But, I mean, if you want to say, like, Jesus is the only God, then, you know, Dionysus is the only God. Well, never mind. There's so many different things. You believe what you want to believe. Just don't push it on other people. And that seems to be the same thing that everybody always says. You don't believe what I believe? Well, you're like, you know, following the satanic, you know, whatever. And there is no Satan. So let's go right off of your book that you're trying to convince us on. There's no such thing as Satan in the Bible. It's not in there. Lucifer's in there. But Lucifer is the light bearer, which is also Venus. Like, most of the Bible is also an astrological depiction of what's going on. but I'm sure you don't look at it that far into it. You take it on basis. But well, no, you can't take it on basis because there's no Satan in the Bible. It doesn't exist. There's just the Lucifer. They say it's the fallen angel, and that's mentioned one time in the entire Bible. So I don't know. Anybody that comes at me that's saying like, you don't believe in Jesus, you must follow Satan's decree, or you're a Satan worshiper or whatever, I totally disregard you, because there's no mention of Satan in the Bible. And if there is, go ahead and correct me, because I'm pretty sure you're not going to be able to point it out. I love things like that. Hey, you want to like talk about the Bible? Okay, well, let's talk about Genesis right there in the beginning, where it says, we shall make man in our image. What are they talking about? It's supposed to be a singular God. But yet we shall make man in our image. What about Adam and Eve, where they're making Adam? And they say, I shall place Adam in the Garden of Eden. They don't say they created Adam. They said that they placed Adam in the Garden of Eden. So there's two different stories. One where we shall make man in our image, and the other one where we shall place man in the Garden of Eden. And those are both in Genesis, like right there at the very beginning. Got them highlighted in my Bible. So I don't know. There's so many contradictions. So if you want to go with the Bible says this, well, we could go with all kind of crazy contradictions like that. What about the sons of God mating with the daughters of men? And that's why God caused the flood that Noah was in charge of, if you want to call it that in the Bible. Which, by the way, there's a flood image in every religion around the world, from Native Americans over here in North America to every other religion out there. So there's all kind of stuff like that. But to say you have the absolute proof, that is not freaking true. Because you gotta look outside the box. You can't look inside your own box. You have to look outside at other boxes. Otherwise, well, right off the bat, I'm not gonna believe you. Because you're not taking in any kind of scientific I don't want to say scientific, but any kind of other research, which there's not just one. And that's funny. Susie and Bran going back and forth. God's image, and he already made the angels our image. No, that's not true, because according to Catholicism, angels are completely different than humans. Humans were already made. But also in the Bible, there's not really any mention of angels. There's angelic beings, but they don't specifically say angels. And according to Catholicism, they were jealous of humans because humans were God's creation. But none of this is in the Bible. This is all Catholicism. This is not the Bible. And if you don't believe me, go read the Bible. I've read it like 3 or 4 times, like all the way through. And there's a lot of crazy stuff in there. I don't even understand what that means. Wait, let me back up. Either way, place or create, it's still the same thing. No, it's not. Create means I created something. Place means there was already something there and I moved it. and I put it somewhere. That's a completely different thing. Place and create are not the same thing. They're complete opposites. Create, I created, I don't know, what the hell do I have around here? I created this outlet right here. This outlet, I created it. I made this thing happen, and then I set it over here. Or this thing was already made, and I picked it up, and I moved it, and I set it over here. Those are two completely different things. One, I created this. The other, I moved it. Those are completely different things. What else we got? Well, yeah, just like Susie said. Science is religion. Yeah, you could go with that. Yeah, science could be religion. But religion usually is not science. Religion is usually belief. And it's belief in something that you were told, not belief in something that you know is true. So there's always that as well. Oh, and yeah, that's what Susie said. Religion is a belief, science is a... Well, no, science, I wouldn't go as far as saying science is a fact. I would say science is a fact as far as what we know as of right now. Because it could be proven wrong in the future. But that's the joy of science, is science is always open to being proven wrong. And when they're proven wrong, the science is changed. Whereas religion is never changed. It's a belief. And no, if you don't believe it, then you know, you're wrong. And that's like the entire thing. That's why I don't like subscribe to a religion, because I don't believe in that. Because when you're proven wrong, and when you're said to be wrong, and then you're proven wrong, but yet you don't change your standpoint, that's when the difference between religion and science comes in. Because science will switch its belief. Like, no, we had it partially right, but we got this part of it wrong, but this is how we know it's true now. And they will continually change, whereas religion never changes. It's always, oh, what, you're trying to tell me something that's against what I believe? Well, you're a heretic. You're a Satanist. You're a Luciferian. You're a whatever. And that's my problem that I usually have with religion. Rich said, Satan's mentioned in the Bible a few times, I believe. Look it up. Let me know where it is, because I'm pretty sure Satan is never... I believe the fallen one is mentioned in the Bible. I believe that's the only one. And people associate Lucifer, Satan, the fallen angel, all as the same thing. But Lucifer's the light bearer. Satan is not in the Bible whatsoever. And the fallen angel was in there one time. And not only was it in there one time, but it's so vague, it doesn't say that they fell from heaven. It just says that they're the fallen one. And I'm pretty... Google that. The fallen one. The same science is created to deceive, but stay in their systems mindset. No, I don't believe that whatsoever. So, like I said, science continually changes over time. Religion stays the exact same. And when religion, at least Christianity, was founded, the world was flat. The sun went around the earth, and we've kind of proved that is absolutely wrong. So that religion never actually switched sides. They did eventually, but that was the Pope doing it, and that was Catholicism again. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you could say religion's a social construct designed to deceive you. I always look at it as a secondary government. Like, yeah, you shouldn't kill, you shouldn't steal, blah, blah, blah. You shouldn't rape, stuff like that. Well, we have, you shouldn't do that because we have laws here on Earth. And then you have But if you don't believe in that, when you die, you're going to burn in hell, which hell does not exist in the Bible either. But yeah, yeah. I don't think science becomes a fact after it's a hypothesis. I think it becomes a hypothesis, then it's carried out a bunch of times to where that it can be duplicated over and over and over again, and then it becomes fact. I could be wrong about that. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of the same thing that you're saying. Formulas will change, but for the most part, if you have a formula and it's proved over and over and over again, then it becomes like a law. Like the law of gravity, or no, it's still the theory of gravity, isn't it? I don't think they ever changed that. Rich, I really can't keep trying to click on links. Let me know what the links are. Brand, by the way, the world has not been an atheistic system. It's pretty much been predominantly a Christian system for a long time. It's not until recently, because you'd get killed if you said anything otherwise, an atheistic system. And it's mainly people pointing out, like, hey, you say in your Bible, like, you can't eat shellfish. You can't wear two different kind of cloths on your body at the same time. Just dumb things like that. You can't eat pork, stuff like that. And that's where people are challenging it. Like, no, science says if you cook pork to 170 degrees, you won't get trichinosis, which is why they probably put it in the Bible that you shouldn't eat pork. Shellfish, well, you didn't cook it enough. That's why you probably got sick and died. And that's why they put it in the Bible. The Bible's pretty much like a guide of like promoting people having more people and not dying. Let's see here. Climate change, real or fake? The government could literally fix it like nothing. I don't know about that, but there is a decree to depopulate the world to 500 million. That's Georgia Guidestones. Susie's still asking if the world's flat. HARPA is the machine to control weather and climate. No, that's HARP. That's HAARP. If you want more information, get the book. Angels Don't Play This Harp. And it's supposed to be a it's high altitude amplified radiation, or radio. I can't remember the P. But that's HARP. Well, no, I was going to go into something else, but never mind. Rich, you're talking about Revelations, where they're talking about Satan. See, I don't really believe in the whole Revelation part, because that's all a dream. So I don't know. There's certain parts in Revelations where I'm like, okay, maybe they're getting some things right, but it's all astrological. Like you'll see me go into the house where the water bearer is. And water bearer, that's Age of Aquarius, which comes after the Age of Pisces. Which Age of Pisces, Jesus, fish, that's the Age of Pisces. What comes after that? The Age of Aquarius. What is Aquarius? The water bearer. And that's where that comes in. What was before the Age of Pisces? That was the age of the ram. What is it? Aries the ram. Or Aries the ram? Did I get that right? It's the ram. Yeah, which is the age of Moses, which was before Jesus, which is celebrated by the ram's horn, which is, I believe, Aries. And then before that was, damn it, I'm like totally back on my astrological thing, but I'm trying to keep up with the chat at the same time. There's proof over proof. You just have to open your mind. My mind was open for 18 years straight, and nothing was actually, there was no proof in anything. There was a lot of stuff. I got kicked out of church. I got kicked out of Sunday school for like a decade because I had so many questions. So I think you're probably talking to, at least I know with Susie, you're talking to the wrong person. But with me, you're probably talking to the wrong person because I have so many questions and I was never able to get any questions answered. That's why they kicked me out, because I was a disturbance. Because I actually would read my Bible and I'd be like, wait. I don't understand this entire chapter. Like, this is what I got out of it. And they'd be like, well, no, you're almost right, but this. And I'd be like, no, it doesn't say that. Like, I'm a literal person. Oh, man, Bran, you just totally lost a bunch of points. So, yes, the world is flat. All right, whatever. That doesn't even make sense just based on what we know about space and like planets spinning and stuff. It would make more sense that they would be round no matter what. They might be oblong, but they would eventually become round because of the way gravity and the way they spin, that they would eventually become round. With four corners. So it's like a four-cornered dinner plate or something? That's weird. I know about the mark of the beast. None shall buy or sell without the mark of the beast. Specifically in the forehead or in the hand. But as far as prophecies go, there have been so many prophecies. The world's going to end in 2012. That's a prophecy. There's a lot of different I mean, that wasn't in the Bible. That was a misinterpretation from the Mayan calendar. But yeah, there's so many prophecies that are misguided that you just might be barking up the same tree of misguided prophecies. And I'm pretty sure, I don't know. I'm always open to be wrong, Rich, but I'm pretty sure Satan was never mentioned in the Old Testament. The serpent was mentioned if you're talking about Adam and Eve and the fruit of the tree of knowledge. They never said apple. It says fruit of the tree of knowledge, which everybody always says the apple. And that's why, by the way, if you love your iPad and iPod and all that stuff, that's why you have an apple with a bite taken out of it, because that was supposed to be representation of the fruit of the tree of knowledge that was bitten into. So there you go. You want to talk about satanic imagery? There you go. Apple and iPod, iPad, whatever the hell, all that stuff. That's why you got the apple with like the bite taken out of it. That's meant to be who was it? Adam that took the bite out of the fruit of the tree of knowledge, not the apple. They just interpreted it as an apple, but that's why Apple has their logo. So if you want to talk about satanic things, then Apple's satanic. Whoops. All right, if you give me a thumbs down for this conversation, Susie, that's just messed up. But do whatever you want. I know a lot of satanic. Yeah, I know a lot of imagery throughout history, not just weird Christian depiction of satanic imagery. I mean, what are you talking about? Baphomet? But what? Yeah, I get what. Wait, is that? Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know. I went on religious scholars that did a lot of the work before I was looking into it, and I don't know. To my knowledge, there's no mention of Satan in the Bible. I could be totally wrong. Oh, and wait. I'll have to look that up, Rich. But I do know that the King James Version is the most plagiarized version of the entire Bible. Why? Because it was the latest version. It was written in Aramaic, then it was transferred to Greek, then it was transferred to German, and then it was transferred to English, and then English, then English, then English, and then became the King James Version, which was the last version. So technically speaking, it's the most plagiarized version, which it is the most plagiarized version because the King James has none of the sidebars that give you information about what they're talking about in a verse, where all the versions prior to that did. Whose version is right? I would say none of them. One of them may be, but that's what I've always wondered, like why people cling to the King James version. Oh man, I can really piss people off right now. Like, go look up King James and look up him being a pedophile. Ooh, that'll piss people off right there because they have like where his palace, where he had like the secret rooms that went to the rooms where, it's alleged that he was like having sex with kids and stuff like that. Weird stuff. I got in a big fight one time with somebody that was like, they literally told me King James is my God. And I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Like, that was just some guy that pretended to be like a king because I don't believe in a king. But just look that up. That'll blow your mind. Yep. Well, they got a bunch of different heads. It's a universal story. Well, it's universal. It's a universal story because it's the same story that's been throughout history. I mean, you're talking about Isis, Osiris, and Horus. That's a trinity. You got Dionysus. That's another Jesus story. You got Jesus. You got like there's so many trinities throughout history that it's not like it's a new idea. It's just a regurgitated idea over and over and over again. Most cultures have a trinity, which is why walking under a ladder is bad luck. Why? Because like the paint can will fall on you. That's what I always thought. No, it's not, because you got like I guess I guess you got the Father, and then you got the ladder, the Mother, and then you got the Holy Spirit at the bottom, or you got the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. I mean, it depends on how you do it, but it all forms a triangle. Well, when a ladder is against a wall, that forms a triangle, and if you walk in between it, you're breaking the Trinity. That's why it's bad luck, not because a paint can might come down on your head. Well, my question, Lisa, would be, what would be the real book? Because the King James version would obviously be the most plagiarized. So what, you would be going back to Aramaic and actually read it in the Aramaic version and translated in the Aramaic version, or? Because also the Dead Sea Scrolls, they actually predate all of the versions of the Bible. And that's where Mark, damn it, I just totally blanked on his name. Mark something Allegro. Mark, what the hell's his name? He wrote the book The Sacred Mushroom and the Cross. And if you go back to that version, it's absolutely completely different than the Bible. It is like a whole different story. Pretty much all it is about, it's all about like have sex, have more humans, and make the world more populated, because like the world was pretty much almost wiped out and we need humans here. So have as many humans as possible so the next generation can have as many humans as possible so that we can continue our lineage. Like that's, I could be totally wrong about that, but to my knowledge, that's what the Dead Sea Scrolls are all about. But they also talk about taking mushrooms and stuff like that. I mean, then you got to go into like Moses and the burning bush. What was the burning bush? It was the acacia bush. What's that made out of? It's made out of DMT. You burn DMT, you get a DMT trip. What's a DMT trip? Whenever you die, DMT's in technically your third eye, in your pineal gland. And when you die, when you're starting to die, the DMT gets flooded into your brain, which makes you go into a DMT trip, which is where everybody says, I saw the light. I saw, I was in a place where there was people that loved me, and all that stuff. Every bit of that, that's DMT. So if Moses saw that exact same thing and then wrote up the 10 Commandments, that's kind of a and DMT is released every night during REM. Exactly. Now, and biblical scholars are starting to come around to that fact, saying, yeah, that's absolutely true. So, well, the whole priest having sex with kids, that's a whole different thing. That could be related back to, you're not allowed to have sex ever again. And next thing you know, they're like violating the older boy and stuff like that. That's a whole different subject. And the church doesn't pay taxes. That's a whole another different thing too, because that's them. They were the government of the day, and now they're like kind of the secondary government of today. So there's that whole thing too. And well, they'll give up some of their money, but the Vatican is like one of the richest organizations on the earth. Not individuals, but organizations. But anyway, it's always fun having a religious debate. I don't say that I know exactly everything that's going on. I just read a lot of different stuff and listen to a lot of different people. And from out of everything that I hear, I try to pull out the stuff that I think is logical and plausible. And the rest of the stuff, I just kind of leave behind. So I don't try to like say that I know 100% what's going on, but I do look into a lot of different stuff. And when I know when I know a couple different aspects of what's going on, and I hear people only bringing up one aspect, but not the other couple aspects, that kind of bothers me, because you have to be to look into it you know, if you want to say that you looked into it completely, you have to look into every single aspect that is presented. But if you only look into one aspect, I mean, that we'll just go ahead and put it in American terms. That's like pretty much saying like, I am a Democrat. And then like, I only look into Democrat issues, and you only look into what they're saying. And anytime a Republican says something, you're like, oh, you're a liar. You don't know what you're talking about. Well, that's not the way to get like good thinking about everything. Because if you don't take into somebody else's anti your argument, then you're not looking into the entire argument whatsoever. So, I don't know. And you got the Gnostics. I've read about the Gnostics. But no, I am agnostic. And I did grow up believing in God. But no, I am an agnostic, which is questioning the belief of God. But oh yeah, I love Graham Hancock. Graham's awesome. Graham, Randall Carlson, and who else am I missing? I love that where they all went on Joe Rogan. Because it was Graham Hancock, or it was Randall Carlson first. Then it was Graham Hancock and Randall Carlson with Joe Rogan. And then it was, who the hell was the third guy? I can't remember. There's one more. But no, I love Graham Hancock. That guy's great. He's got really good ideas on everything. But he also does not say this definitely happened this way. He's more of a, this says this says that. The most reasonable conclusion that I can come up with between that is here. And that's what I really like about him. All right, well, Lisa's got to let the puppy in. Susie's probably dying down over there, getting ready to go to sleep. Rich, hey, I'll go. I love it when people come at me on anything that you want to talk about, because I always think that if you have an idea, I have an idea, and they're completely different, I like listening to both ideas, and then I'll figure out where I'm at there, somewhere in the middle. So, but all right, well, Susie's out. Lisa's gonna let the doggy in, and I think I'm gonna get out of here too. That's been like over 3 hours, so yeah, I'll come back on Friday if you want to go ahead and argue it out again. We can do that again, but that's it, man. I'm out for the night. Thanks for hanging out and checking it out. Do all that fun, happy social media stuff down below. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Later on.